Hey y'all, Justin with Kayak Catfish. Well, I just got on the water this morning, and today's video I'm going to do another raw and uncut episode, which basically means I'm going to turn this camera on and just leave it rolling. You're going to see every cast, every fish caught, every fish lost, any snags or other shenanigans we run into. You're going to see it as if you were actually out here fishing with me, because, well, that's the goal of these raw and uncut videos, is just to bring you all along with me on a real fishing trip. So my plan for this morning is to start out doing some ultralight fishing with Gulp minnows. It's one of my favorite ways to fish. You just catch a bunch of fish and a good variety as well. So I'm going to start out doing that. But at some point this morning, I need to get some catfish bait. So if we see any surface activity from skipjack or white bass, I'm going to take off and go after those as well. Those have kind of been on like a mid to late morning bite lately. When I'm wanting to get off the water lately, that's when the skipjack have been most active, it seems like. So we're going to start out with the ultralight. So I'm going to take the camera here and put it in the chest. If you're new to my ultralight videos or new to my channel altogether, this is my favorite ultralight bait in the world. That is a 1-inch Gulp minnow. It's smelt color, which kind of looks like threadfin shad, which is the primary forage species here where I'm at today. It's on a 1/64 ounce jig head with a number 8 size hook, and I've got this on my ultralight rod, which is a St. Croix Panfish series rod, 6 foot long with 2-pound test line on a 1,000 size Daiwa reel. And today I'm fishing on Melton Hill Reservoir, and basically what I'm doing here is I'm going to start this trip where I ended the last raw and uncut trip, which was filmed a couple weeks ago. I'm here close to Melton Hill Dam. You can see the dam down there, but I kind of ended in this area a couple weeks back, and so we're going to start here today and keep working our way down toward the dam, and hopefully again run into some skipjack or white bass that are going crazy on the surface at some point out here this morning, because I need me some catfish bait, y'all. We're going to keep some bluegill and maybe some yellow bass or some crappie if we luck into them as well, but I really need me some skipjack. So that's what we're hoping to find out here some point this morning. But for whatever reason lately, it seems like they're just biting late in the day. Usually this time of year I get on skipjack, it's right at sunrise, and you'll get on a bite until the sun here's a fish, until the sun gets up, and then the skipjack, the bite just tapers off. But lately it's been 9 o'clock or later before they start biting. This bluegill said he was willing to bite first thing this morning, though. Not a bad bluegill to start with for fish number 1. Guess what, bluegill? You know where you're going? I got a surprise for you. You're going in the cooler. We're going to catch a catfish with you. I'm going to just have a variety of baits for the next catfish trip. I've been doing better on skipjack lately than anything, but it never hurts to have a variety. So I'm going to keep me a few bluegill. We'll see what other species we get today. Hopefully we need some other species today for sure. If I got just bluegill on my next catfishing trip, things have went terribly wrong. So my regular viewers that like the catfish videos, if you see me just using bluegill, boy, he's loud back there, ain't he? I don't know if y'all could hear that on camera or not. He's flopping around that cooler. There's a tree right here that comes off and runs out in the water. I was just casting by it when I got him, so thought I'll make a few more casts here and see if he's got some friends, and then we're gonna turn and go the other way toward the dam. I just come out here because I've been doing better getting skipjack on Melton Hill here than anywhere else in the area lately. And this ultralight fishing, you know, I can do this anywhere. It's pretty much anything's going to eat those Gulp minnows. So any body of water I go to, I can catch something with this. So I just thought we'll come over here this morning. It's a weekday when I'm filming this, so shouldn't have any boat traffic issues. Might see a another fisherman or something, but there shouldn't be any hooligans out here, you know, no wakeboarders or ski boaters, or, well, I had a fish hit me right then. Let that sink back down. None of those annoying boaters, they shouldn't be out here today. So we should have a nice peaceful morning, and we'll fish for 2 or 3 hours here and hopefully get us a bunch of fish in the process and get us some catfish bait too. I picked this side of the shoreline because the sun, it comes up over there, so this side's shaded longer. The fish don't care, but I do. It's so dang hot lately. I don't know where y'all living at. They're watching this. Y'all, it's amazing to me that people all over the world watch my videos, but here in East Tennessee and most of the United States, I think, has been under a bad heat wave lately. And it's just been miserable hot and humid. By about 10 o'clock, it's so hot I'm ready to go home on most days. And that's if I even get to go. Here's a fish. Well, that's a pulling right there now. Oh, he pulled free. I think that might have been a little bass right there. I could barely see the fish outline down there in the water. I think it might have been a small bass. But it's been not only a real hot summer here in East Tennessee, but it's been wet too. You know, normally in the summers, our climate's usually pretty dry. And if we do get weather events like storms and stuff, it happens in the afternoon and the evenings after it's heated up all day. You know, we'll get some pop-up storms, that kind of thing. But this year we've had a lot more rain and storms in the early morning hours. Now, just about every week I'm getting knocked out of fishing 2 or 3 days a week, it seems like. So it's just been one of them years, kind of an odd weather year for us here. But I'm still making the most of it and getting out there whenever I can, and so thought I'd bring you all with me today. I was in the mood to do some ultralight fishing today, and I needed to make a bait run anyhow, so we'll just do everything at once. I got my skipjack rods with me, and I got them rigged up with some trout magnets. Lately, these skipjack and white bass that I'm catching, they're eating tiny threadfin shad, basically the size of that Gulp minnow there. They're about a 1/2 inch to 1 inch long, just little shad fry. That's what they're spitting up. And so, oh, something thumped me. But I'm throwing them trout magnets on my skipjack rigs because they're I think they're about 1 inch long, and they're real narrow. They're real small bait. They're basically the same size as the shad fry that these fish are eating lately. Because when I'm throwing, there's one. Oh my gosh, that one spit it too. Have I got something wrong with my hook here? Is that thing dull or something? Oh, that thing's sharp, stuck right in my finger. Bad luck, I reckon. I was trying to say I'm throwing them trout magnets on my skipjack rigs, because if I'm throwing anything bigger than that right now, like a spoon, or here's a fish. Let's see if we can keep this one hooked. But if I'm throwing anything bigger, like a crappie magnet size plastic or a spoon, I can't hardly get a bite. This is right here, I believe, is a sunfish of some kind. Red-breasted sunfish, maybe. It's got the different colors, got the orange there on it. Real pretty fish. He's gonna make a real good looking bait. Let me get my cutting board out of the way. Bear with me a second here, y'all. I had my cutting board in my cooler there, and I think them bluegill flopping around on that cutting board is going to be amplifying the sound in there, so we'll take that thing out. Let them flop on the ice. But out here this morning with this ultralight, I ain't doing nothing special. I've just working my way down the bank here. We're gonna throw it down trees and rocks and a bunch of other stuff in between that we don't even see down in the water. And we're gonna come across some fish, and we'll have some dead stretches where we don't catch anything, and then we'll get on a tree where we'll catch us 10 fish. That's just how it goes when you're doing this style of fishing. But I worked this area, it was about 2 weeks ago when I was out here and filmed that last raw and uncut video, and I just started upstream from here and just started fishing my way back. And so I ended the day kind of in this area, and I thought, I'm just gonna pick up here where I left off. We'll just keep working our way down toward the dam. Probably get down there to it before I'm done filming, I would imagine, unless we just really get on some fish and get slowed down through here. I'm not going to spend too much time in any one area out here unless we're just wearing them out, There's something up that tree. There's a dang squirrel up there. I'm upset with them squirrels, y'all. They've caused a mess at my house. I'm in my Old Town kayak today, my pedal kayak, which I normally like doing my ultralight fishing in. But because I'm going to be doing some trolling for the skipjack and white bass today, I was going to bring my Hobie kayak because it's got the motor, I wasn't sure how long or how far I was going to have to go to find skipjack, because I got to get some today before I leave. We got to. Anyway, I had some pack bait that I use for carp fishing in my kayak from a recent carp trip. Because usually whatever leftover pack bait I have, I've got it in a Ziploc bag, so it'll stay good for a week or so. I just leave it in the kayak in case I'm able to go again. That way I don't have to waste it, throw it away. Well, I guess some squirrels, or it could have been a raccoon, got up in the kayak, and boy, they've made a mess. There's pack bait all over my kayak, all over my carport. I got a mess to clean up when I go home today. There's going to probably be ants all over everything. So, I'm ticked off them squirrels. I'm pretty sure it was the squirrels. I got a squirrel problem at the house. They're always getting into bird feeders and stuff and knocking them off the bird feeder pole. I got me a squirrel baffle, which is, I don't know how you describe it really. It's basically a cone that goes around your pole that you got your bird feeders hung on. I got one of them, but unfortunately the squirrels are able to jump over it. They jump from my porch over to the bird feeder. They'll just jump and cling on to the bird feeders and knock all the seed out, knock them off the poles. They're real pests. And I can't move the bird feeder pole or else I won't be able to see it out my living room window, which is the whole purpose of having it out there, so I can watch the birds while I'm sitting there watching a TV set and stuff. So sometimes I let Daphne, the dog, she likes to lay there at my front door, and just the front door, it's a glass, you got your normal front door and then there's a glass door in front of it. I think that glass door is kind of like Daphne's TV set, because she'll lay there and just look out that door all afternoon. But sometimes she gets a little excited because there'll be a squirrel out there either on the porch or near the porch, and she'll get all the back of her back there, the hair will be standing up on it, and she'll get all excited. And so I'll run over there real quick and open that door, and she'll shoot off after them. And she's been close to getting some squirrels one time. Well, there was one instance where she got one. She actually got it twice, same squirrel twice, but it got away from her. And you would think having a dog as fast as the baby cheetah chasing you up a tree would deter those squirrels from coming back. But they are unfazed. It's almost as if they come over there and taunt her and dare her to chase after them. It's like it's a game to them or something. So she's eventually going to get one. I don't know what we're going to do with it when she brings it back to me, but hopefully it'll teach them dang squirrels a lesson. My mom got me some, I don't know what them things are called. Suet. They're these blocks of feed, bird feed. And they got hot pepper in them because apparently hot pepper don't deter the birds, but it deters the squirrels. But them squirrels don't mess with them. I don't know how the hell you say the words. Sweet, suet. Them squirrels don't mess with those. They go after the seed. Lord Almighty, I'm hung over here, y'all, and I've set the hook in it too. Y'all may be watching the biggest thing we catch here all day with this snag. I'm gonna try to work it free though. I'd like to lose as few jigs as possible out here today, not only for me but for y'all too, because nobody wants to watch me retie out here. Gosh dang it. We're getting the video going for real here now, by gosh. It don't start really until you get your first snag, in my opinion. That's when the real fishing starts. Yep, we've broke off, folks. Will you bear with me while I retie? Go ahead and fast forward. I ain't even going to ask you to bear with me because I know good and well this is the point in time where people fast forward. I'm going to try something out here though, y'all. Check this out. For those of you that ain't fast forwarding, I got me some glasses here. One of my viewers sent me this. Lynn, one of my channel members, got me some reading glasses here. They sunglasses that magnify stuff like 25%. It's going to help me see better to be able to thread this line through these tiny jig heads. So I'm going to put them on here. That does help a little bit. Thanks, Lynn. It's a helpful gift. As I get older, you know, I can't half see no more. It does. It adds makes them look like 25% bigger. I need to give some of the ladies some of these glasses to put on when they when adult activities partake, if you know what I mean. It might help my cause. I'm gonna get canceled for that. And I've offended somebody watching right now with that joke. It does make stuff 25% bigger though. All right, well, just like that, we back in the game. This process goes a lot quicker when I can actually see. All right, let's get us another Gulp on there. I just added me another jar of Gulp to my pea cup this morning. This thing holds about 2 jars of Gulp, and I was running a little low, so we restocked now. I got me some new jig heads here too. These are truly 1/64 ounce jig heads with number 8 hooks. I bought some trout magnet style, actual trout magnet brand jig heads there 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I guess they had a bad batch or something because they're bigger than advertised. They're supposed to be 1/64 ounce with number 8 hooks, but they ain't. You can tell the lead on them's heavier. They're more like a 1/32 ounce. And the hooks are bigger. They're like a number 6, number 4. I mean, they're way too big for what I need. Because you got a hook that's too big on these Gulp. Here's just a fish too, by gosh. First cast after the snag. We got us one. But if you use a hook that's too big on these Gulp, you'll tear them. You won't hardly catch any fish at all with them before you've got to replace it. Use an appropriate size hook, and this is a pretty nice bluegill right here. Look at that, man. I'm gonna put this in on the board, folks, if I can find my board. Where's that thing? It's under my seat somewhere here. Where is that? There it is. Can't find nothing this morning. I think this one's probably pushing 8 inches. No, I was wrong too. He's about 7.5 maybe. Still pretty nice bluegill right there. We're gonna take him with us too. Get in there, bluegill. I don't even remember what I was saying now. Oh, I was talking about the hook sizes on the Gulp. If you got a hook that's too big, you ain't gonna catch but 2 or 3 fish on a Gulp, and then it's gonna tear. But an actual number 8 size hook, a true number 8 size, you know, I can catch, most of the time I can catch 10 fish or more before I tear it so bad that, you know, it ain't usable. Sometimes it'll rip and I gotta flip it upside down and hook the other side, but you know, I can get several fish. But it's, you know, it's all about being appropriate size. And I don't know what happened with them Trout Magnet brand hooks or jig heads there. They must just got a bad batch, is all I can figure. Because I've bought them in the past and they're appropriate size. Something hit me then. I felt a pop. I set the hook and nothing there. Ghost bite, I reckon. I ended up ordering them jig heads there. I ordered them on eBay. Just found a random person on there that was selling them and bought some. I actually reached out to him directly when I got them. I bought a few. I bought like 250. And then I got those and saw that they were actually the size that I wanted, like a true 1/64 ounce and number 8 hook size, and I missed another one. And so he had put like a business card in the package, right? And so I thought, well, I'm just going to reach out to this guy directly and just have him make me like 1,000 more. You know, just have him do it kind of off eBay, you know. It'll save him some eBay fees and keep me from having to pay sales tax, you know. Both of us wins in that situation. And this guy writes me a lengthy email back, basically just going on about how he has to take care of eBay customers first because that's where most of his business comes from, and then he has another client that orders tens of thousands of jig heads, so he takes care of them next, and maybe he could get to me in a few weeks. And I thought, you know what, you ungrateful piece of crap, you know, I was just trying to throw you a bone, save you some money on eBay fees, you know, maybe save me some taxes in the process. It wasn't like I was asking for them for free or even asking for a discount on them, you know. I was just thinking it was a win-win for both of us. I mean, hell, he put a business card with his contact info in with the package, so I figured that's what he was trying to do for repeat customers, you know, was to get it kind of off the eBay there. So I don't know what eBay charges these days. I think it was, last time I sold something on there, I think it was 10 or 12% cut that they take, you know. So anyway, he wrote this long email, basically made it sound like he didn't want my business. So I said, hell with him, I'll just get him from somebody else. There's a bunch of people that sell them on there. I just type in, when I go to buy them, I type in 1/64 ounce shad dart jig heads, and then they've got like a little drop down menu and you can pick your hook size on there. Yeah, I thought, you ungrateful piece of crap. I don't play them games. There's too many other people to buy from out there. Now the funny thing about it was, you know, and I didn't say anything when I wrote the email about my YouTube channel, nothing like that. I mean, I was just basically trying to order 1,000 jig heads. But if this guy hadn't have been a jerk about it, I could have probably thrown him some business, you know, with this whole YouTube channel and all. People click them links down in my video description all the time. I mean, I can't tell you how many jars of Gulp I've sold. I mean, it's in the thousands. You know, same thing with other supplies and gear and stuff I got listed. I mean, it's just, when you get a YouTube channel that gets a fair amount of views like I do, people buy stuff. This feels a little better right here now. Oh, that's another big gill right there. Big gill. Nice. Nice bluegill right there. Come on up here, bluegill. Say something to these people. Tell them hit the like and subscribe for me, would you? He says he ain't telling y'all nothing. If I did translate what he was saying, y'all wouldn't want to hear it. It's vulgar. He ain't happy about going in that cooler. But anyway, you know, when you do this YouTube crap, they call us quote-unquote influencers, you know. Because, I mean, well, I guess we influence. So we truly do influence. Just from what I see, I ain't coming on here trying to sell you nothing. But when I come out here and I have a good trip with this rod and this Gulp Minnows and, you know, the stuff I use, people buy that. They see me having a good experience with it and they go out and want to have the same thing, so they buy it. And so you got to figure, if this guy hadn't have been a jerk to me, if I'd had a good customer service experience with him, I could have thrown him a bone and maybe put his contact info or a link or whatever, you know, for people to go buy jig heads from him. And, you know, with the number of views these ultralight videos have gotten, especially these raw and uncuts, they've been a very popular video. I've got a few videos now that's got over 100,000 views. One of them's got like almost 400,000, I think. So, I mean, if 1% of those people who watch made a purchase, which is not out of the possibility, but if 1%, let's say I got 1 million total views on these ultralight videos, and 1%, a 0.5%, made a purchase from him, that's a lot of money for him in sales. He just threw it away with his page-long email talking about how I wasn't a priority. So anyway, I don't know why nobody wants to hear about my jig head order going bad. It's the rants I go on. It's stuff like that that always pops up in memory. You know, good things happen, we forget those things pretty quick. But when bad stuff happens, it sticks with us. We remember it. I had this lay. I stopped at the gas station on the way over here this morning. There's this old lady. I guess she was traveling with another car, and so her car was at the gas pump on the other side of me, and I guess she was over talking to her friend. I don't know. She's talking to somebody over there in like a normal parking spot. And she's walking back over to the pump, to her car. And of course I got my car and the kayak trailer behind me. So she was walking over and it's hard to describe, but like she stops kind of at my kayak trailer and does this face like, you know, like this look of disgust that she has to walk around my trailer to get back to her car. And I thought, you know, how miserable a person are you that you got to take 6 extra steps to go around a trailer to get to your car, and that she wants me. Here's another fish. Oh, there's a bass after it. There's a bass after it. Did you see that? Oh, he's gone now. There was it looked like a smallmouth come after him. The smallmouth wasn't very big, but he was chasing him out of there. Bluegill, did your life flash before your eyes, buddy? Because you had the bass hot on your tail. Boy, he ate that thing. We're definitely taking this one for cut bait. He's ate that thing kind of deep. I'm going to try to get it back since we're going to use him for cut bait anyway. Now I'm going to finish my old lady story here. Give me that jig back, fish. Bear with me, y'all. We're going to get this jig back out of this fish. There it is. We got it. You going in the cooler, fish. You done had a bad day. That fish ate that jig deep. He got chased by a bass. And now he's going with us in the cooler to catch a catfish. And I think I tore my gulp when I was trying to get it out of that fish. There we go. But anyway, this old lady, man, just huffs and puffs because, I mean, I've just ruined her day because I'm getting gas, you know. I'm like, what the hell's wrong with people? There's something about them old ladies like that I just can't stand. You know, you could tell she wasn't from around here. Unless she lived over in Tellico Village or something. Tellico Village is on the other side of town. For those of y'all that ain't around here, it's on Tellico Lake. And ain't nobody that grew up in East Tennessee lives there. It's all people that from up north that come down here. They go to Tellico Village. Nobody in East Tennessee that grew up here would dare live there because we all can't stand them people. They're all snooty and better than everybody. Just like this woman at the gas station, you know, she's that type of woman. You know when you see them. You know, they don't wear t-shirts. They wouldn't be caught dead in a t-shirt. They got blouses on with them shoulder pads that make their shoulders. I don't know why. I don't know why they want shoulder pads in their blouses, but they wear them. You know, they just got that snooty attitude, looking down their noses at you. You know, walking around like they don't fart 20-something times a day like everybody else in the world. I can't stand them. But I was good this morning. No, I didn't say nothing to that woman. I could tell she was disgusted with me because she had to take 6 extra steps. But I just let it go. I didn't want to interact with her. I wasn't gonna. I'm trying to be a better person in my older age here, y'all. But anyway, I was trying to. The moral of that whole thing was like something like that. I'll remember that woman all day. But if somebody done something nice for me today, I'll forget them before I get home. That's how our minds work. I don't know why it's like that, but that's how, at least that is for me anyway. The most memorable people are always the ones that piss me off. Just like the fish, you know, it's the fish that get away that are the most memorable from every trip. Here's another fish right here, though. It ain't getting away. We got you, buddy. Come on over here. You too small. I'm going to let you go. You do me a favor, fish. You survive. Next year, if I catch you, we'll make you bait. I made him a deal there. Made him a deal he couldn't turn down. He wanted to be on video. The catfish video. These bluegill, it's their dream to get on a catfish video. You know, getting on an ultralight video for a bluegill, it's like making it on American Idol for the audition. But the real stars of American Idol, they make it past the audition show. It's like that for the bluegill. Ultralight video, you know, any bluegill could be caught on an ultralight video. Nothing special about them. Nothing special about that tree branch I just cast over either. Y'all didn't see that. Disregard that. Oh my gosh, I just done it again. Okay, I pulled it off that time. We're going to let that sink down. But these bluegill, man, they make their dreams come true. There was something splashing right in front of us. Probably that bluegill come up and give me the bird. That old lady from Tellico Village or wherever she's coming from probably called that fish, and they probably related somehow. I just don't understand them people. You know, they come down here, they move down here in Tennessee because clearly our state is better than wherever the hell they come from, right? Else they wouldn't have moved. But then they come down here and they talk down to us, treat us like crap. I don't understand it. I mean, the reason our state is so good is because of the people that's here. So, I don't know. I don't even see, you know, well, nobody outside East Tennessee will understand what the hell I'm talking about here, but I'm going to tell it anyway. This area over here called Tellico Village. The property on the lake there is very pretty. Tellico Lake's a very pretty lake. Very, very busy pleasure boat traffic area, but it's a very pretty property that these houses sit on. And back in the 80s, which I guess was Tellico Village's heyday, the houses that are in this little community over there, they were nice houses back then. And don't get me wrong, they're still nice houses now. But comparatively speaking, the new houses that are being built on the lake and other places, they're way bigger and they're way nicer because it's just a different time now. So I don't understand the appeal of people who are moving down here now, like, oh, I want to go live in Tellico Village. I want to be a part of. Why? You can get a better house for the same or less money somewhere else. But they want that prestige of being snooty with the other people over at the country club, you know. It's important to them. I don't care nothing about eating no country club. When I leave here today, I'm going to go to a place called Donna's Diner. It's just a little hole in the wall mom and pop joint. Got the best food you'll eat in all Lenore City. And here's a fish. He got him the best Gulp minnow he can eat. We don't need no country club, do we, fish? No, we don't. You old smallmouth. I about hooked you again, didn't I? Tell them people hi and bye. Old small jaw. Yeah, I'm gonna go to Donna's Diner today. I don't know what the special is today, but that's probably what I'll get. Whatever the special is, it ain't never been bad. If you do go over there, y'all, don't try going there for dinner. They ain't open. Breakfast and lunch only. So get there before 2 o'clock. I'll definitely be there because it'll be hot as blazes out here by 10. Me and you will be off the water by then. Keeping my eyes peeled as I rant on people I don't like. Looking for surface activity, still not seeing much. If we see them skipjack busting, we gotta take off after them. Ain't being real active down through here yet. I mean, we're getting a fish here and a fish there. Oh, I got my line all jacked up there too, didn't I? Boy, what a mess that is right there. How'd I do that? I just put fresh line on this reel last night. There we go. We'll eventually stumble into some numbers of fish down through here, or some better quality bluegill or bass. Matter of time. Unfortunately, you come to East Tennessee, you're going to stumble into some of them Tellico Village people too. Can't avoid them. They everywhere. You know who I feel bad for with them Tellico Village people is the people that work the stores around here, the retail stores and restaurants and stuff. You take that woman today, how snooty she was to me because she had to walk 6 feet around my trailer. Imagine how she's going to be at a restaurant if her steak comes out medium well instead of medium, you know. I try to be nice when I go to a restaurant because I don't want nobody spitting in my food. I'm always paranoid about that. Like, I would never, even if I didn't like the food, the plate, whatever they brought out to me, I wouldn't dare send it back because I could only imagine what some 16-year-old high school kid is going to think about having to redo my food, you know. Like I ain't taking that chance. I'll just eat the poorly cooked food versus potentially getting better cooked food with saliva in it. Don't tell me that it ain't happened either. I guarantee you it has. What is going on over there? Did y'all hear that? Somebody's hollering. I guess Bigfoot got somebody over there at the campground. It's too early for that nonsense. I think we might get a fish here on this rock, y'all. See that rock right there? See how it kind of juts out a little bit? I bet you there's a lip on that thing that drops off. I bet you there could be some fish kind of up under that thing. We'll make a few casts around that. It seems like the place that might have some fish hanging out. There's a bunch of places down through here like this that should have some fish hanging out, but that one looks particularly good to the naked eye. Nothing yet though, by gosh. Shows what the hell I know. Don't be listening to me, y'all. Just because I'm a quote-unquote influencer don't mean I should be influencing you, because clearly I don't know what a good rock looks like. If I don't know what a good rock looks like, I sure as hell don't know nothing about anything else either. I don't think we're going to catch a thing on that rock. Oh, look right up here. Look here. We got a bald eagle being chased by an osprey. There goes the osprey. There goes the other one. I guess the bald eagle went up in the woods there. That funny about them bald eagles. Bald eagle, if you're watching my video from outside of the United States, bald eagle is they're a protected species here. And they're like our national bird. They're on coins and stuff, and they're a big deal here in the United States. But every time I see a bald eagle out on the water, which is pretty frequently, we got a good population of them here. They always getting chased off by a smaller bird every single time without fail. I mean, whether it's an osprey or just some random small bird, like they're literally running from another bird, which isn't really how I would think the United States would want to be portrayed in the bird world, you know? Like, I feel like we should be a dominant, unwavering, no fear type of bird. But nope, bald eagle always flying away from something. Always running from something way smaller than them. They got a big fan club though. They got people, I see them. I bring a dog over here sometimes to walk over here below the dam. I see these photographer people, and they'll be out there with these. Well, I don't know how much they cost, but they look expensive. These cameras with these big scopes on them and stuff, and these giant lenses. And that's their hobby. They take pictures of these bald eagles. But I never see them people out like in a boat or in a kayak or canoe or anything, you know. I'm like, you could get a lot closer to them bald eagles if you actually got out on the water, but they just all hang out in the parking lots down here and take pictures of the same two eagles that live around here. Here's a fish, by gosh. This fish says he don't give a crap about no bald eagle. Boy, this is a big one right here. Big old gill right here, man. Wow. Man, look at that. Boy, look at that right there, y'all. Big old tall gill right there, man. That's a hand size, buddy. Let's stick you on the board too, Mr. Bluegill. Oh yeah, that one right there's over 8 inches. He's about, he's over 8¼ actually. Nice, buddy. I'm gonna let you go. Yeah, there, Bluegill. Big and like that, he deserves to go home. Boy, I like catching them that big, y'all. Old Daphne the dog got a new electric bike here recently, and I took her down. I'm gonna fix this gulp back. I took her down to that pond we got access to, and there's some big bluegill in it. We caught some big ones down there. I told Daphne she wants to go on some more fishing trips. She's gonna have to get on the ball, get us some more bites. Dog just don't understand the concept of a honest day's work. If I could get her to type out some emails to them bike companies, we'd probably get a bunch of them. Instead of waiting on them to email us, if we actually emailed them, I think we'd get a bunch more. But I can't. She says she ain't got no thumbs, so she can't operate a computer mouse. I told her that's a terrible excuse. That's what she claims. I need to get her like one of them little Apple pens, Apple pencil. You know what I'm talking about? Them the pen looking things that you tap on the iPads with. She could hold that in her mouth and type out her emails. She sure likes licking them fish, though. It makes her excited to see me reel in a fish. I was about to reel in another one right there. I wonder if that one got my... No, it's still on there. I thought it might have ripped my gulp off. Throw back over there. That was a nice gill over there, man. When you get them, now this body of water here, it's Melton Hill Reservoir. It's got some bigger bluegill in it. But when you get bluegill that's over 8 inches, in my opinion, for public water, that's a really good sized gill. I'll occasionally throughout the year get some that are pushing 9 inches. Not many, but I will get a few throughout the year that are in that size range. But I can't remember. It's been, gosh, it's had to be 2 or 3 years probably since I got a 10-inch size bluegill on public water. You just don't see them very often. I don't know if they just don't, maybe just don't survive, or maybe they're deeper and I'm just not fishing the appropriate places for them. But you get an 8-incher out here, you've got yourself a good gill. That pond though we got at, there's all kinds of bluegill to push 10 inches in there. You can get spoiled fishing in ponds. It's like them old pay lake catfishermen, you know, they go to them little ponds where pay lake owners and stuff, they'll take the big catfish out of public rivers, stick them in these ponds, and then people pay to go fish in ponds and stuff. It's a terrible practice. The fish die because they can't survive in them small ponds, and you know, it takes a resource away from the public rivers and stuff that's hard to replace because it takes so long to grow a big catfish. But them fellas, they'll post their pictures all over social media, you know, catching these big catfish in these tiny ponds and act like they're big shots, you know. But they get spoiled doing that, and then they try to go out on the river and catch them, and it just, they can't do worth a flip out there.
I don't see the appeal of it. Most of them fish look terrible, you know, where they've been in them ponds. They got sores all over them and stuff, and they look terrible, but people get into that crap. Just ain't my type of people. I ain't much of a people person anyway, but if you do something that really repulses me, I especially don't like you. And them people, I just don't think I'd get along with them. You know who else I wouldn't get along with? That old lady that this morning at the gas station. There's no circumstances I would ever get along with somebody that wears blouses with shoulder pads. Just wouldn't do it. I just don't understand why a woman, I'm probably going to offend somebody. Why would a woman want to make her shoulders taller? I mean, here's a fish. I guess maybe if she had like a really long neck, like really just unusually long neck, then you would make your shoulders look taller so that your neck didn't look as long. But otherwise, I don't know why. It just don't make sense to me. What do you think, bluegill? Any bluegill women down there wear blouses with shoulder pads? He says they don't wear blouses at all. They're nudists down there. All them bluegill swim around naked. Bunch of perverts. Who knew all them bluegill perverts walk around naked all the time? Disregard my stomach growling. Y'all, Donna's Diner will take care of that when I leave here today. Speaking of stomach growling, so let me tell you this too. This is another story only about 3 of you will give a crap about, but I'll tell you anyway. Again, if we were out here fishing together, man, that's what these raw and uncut videos are. It's like me and you going fishing together. This is the kind of story that you would be subjected to hearing if we were out here actually in a boat together or something. So y'all gonna have to listen to it or fast forward. Anyway, I gotta put another gulp on there too. I'm gonna tell the story while I replace my gulp. So anyway, I had a dumb idea the other day that I was gonna try fasting. Fasting is what these new hippie people, they claim it's the key to long life. It's a modern day snake oil is what it is. But basically what the premise is that you will starve yourself for a period of time, and it's supposed to make you feel better. It's supposed to boost your growth hormones and testosterone level. It's supposed to kill like bad cells in your body and stuff, and yada 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 yada. And so anyway, you know, I'm thinking, well, I'd like to live forever. I don't want to die. Maybe I'll try it and add a few extra months to my life. So I made a commitment to myself. I was going to starve myself for basically 20 some odd hours. I had lunch. I finished lunch. It was like 2 o'clock on a particular day. And I had dinner plans the following evening, like 6-ish. So I knew if I didn't eat any more, I was basically going to have a 28-hour period of no food, fasting, right? And so I did it, by gosh. I fasted for the whole 28 hours. But you know what I felt? I felt hungry. And basically the conclusion that I come to is if I got to starve myself to live potentially a little bit longer, I think I would rather just die sooner with a full stomach, because it ain't fun being hungry. Every time I would sit down on the couch, I would get this wave of hunger over me. So I do think a lot of my eating in particular is probably habitual. Just like this fish here, he sees a gulp minnow fall in front of his face. It's a habit. He's going to bite it. But I think when I sit down on the couch, my natural habit is just to eat something. Potato chips or a snack or cookies or something. You too small, Bluegill. We're going to throw you back. Because I definitely noticed a feeling of more hunger when I would be sitting down at the couch. But otherwise, I made it a full 28 hours. I didn't feel a damn bit different other than being more hungry. And I just said, I don't think I want to do this ever again. At least not intentionally, So, that's my thoughts on it. I did think that, like, some of them people say you got to do it for a while, you got to go like a month. They'll say eat over a 12-hour period and then don't eat for 36 hours. And that does appeal to me, not only from a health perspective, if it's actually true what they claim, but just from a financial perspective. Because in that instance, you're basically eating every other day. And so in theory, you could cut your grocery bill in half if you only ate every other day. And that's my biggest expense is food over the course of the month. That's what I spend the most money on. So if I could cut that expense in half, that would be pretty awesome. But then, you got to starve yourself to do that. And I don't know. Maybe there are health benefits to it, but I don't see it. I think it's probably it's either snake oil, the people trying to say like that whole alpha brain. I took them alpha brain things that Joe Rogan pushes, thinking it was going to make me less dumb. It's supposed to improve mental clarity and stuff. Bull butter. I didn't feel any different on them things. Didn't notice a thing different other than about choking to death because them alpha brain pills or the capsules, they're huge. They'd choke a mule. So I think this stuff's just snake oil. Come on, Bluegill. I'm going to let you go too, Bluegill. Thank you, lucky stars. There's some fish over here on this wood. There's 2 or 3 trees over here that's falling in, and there's some bluegill around it. Might be something else around there too, possibly. There's another one, just like that. Let's see how big this one is. This one here's a little bigger, I think. And there's a little bigger. Come on in, bluegill. Let me get them pliers on you. You ate it just deep enough. I can't get it with my fingers. There you go. And maybe you wasn't a little bigger. There's something else too about that whole fasting thing. I've done lost most of the audience. Nobody gives a crap about this, but this is what you'd be hearing if you was out here with me. As we catch another fish, that's 3 in a row. We're on a streak. We got the streak going. We're streaking here, y'all. We finally made our way down to some fish. But I think the whole fasting thing, part of why maybe these people are in better health see you, bluegill. He didn't want to be on video. Maybe it's because these people are just real disciplined. Like, you never see a fat person. You don't see some 300-pounder talking about fasting. It's always these skinny people that are real fit. It's people like that you hear talking about it and pushing the benefits. And those people are obviously, you got to be disciplined. Like, you got to make a commitment to say, hey, I'm not eating for 24, 36 hours, because you're going to be hungry. You're going to feel it. And here in America, most people anyway, we're a very privileged society these days. Most of us have access to food at any given time. And so it's convenient. You can have something to eat pretty much whenever. So it's just, you got to have discipline to say, hey, I'm not eating for whatever period of time. And if you're that disciplined that you can make that commitment to not eat and ignore the hunger and just push through it, well, you're probably disciplined enough to exercise every day. You're probably disciplined enough to eat a healthier diet anyway and make better lifestyle decisions. So is it the health benefits? Is it because of the actual fasting? Or is it just because that those are just more disciplined people that are making better life decisions than somebody who's obese, let's say? So anyway, that's my theory on that. I think it's more of just the individual person and the discipline than it is the fasting. But I'm not a scientist. I'm not a medical doctor. You know, that's just my personal opinion on it. So take it with a grain of salt. This bluegill says he'll take it with a side of Gulp minnow. Man, this tree here, they're stacked with fish. I broke my streak a second ago, but we're still catching fish one after another here pretty much. I'm gonna catch me a few more too, just for duties and giggles. I still ain't seeing no surface activity from no skipjack or white bass. We need them to pop up around here at some point as we reel in another bluegill. I told you all, it's like this. When you're doing this style of fishing, you're going to have stretches of nothing where you just can't buy a fish. And all of a sudden you'll get on a tree or an object or something, and it'll just be stacked with fish. And that's what we got here on this tree. There's all kinds of bluegill on it. I say that now, I'm gonna stop getting bit. I jinxed it. There he is. Oh, that ain't it. That's a tiny bass right there. Look at that. That's a largemouth. He's gonna go down my scupper hole in the floor of the kayak here. Lordy days, that is a small. Here's my 1-inch gulp, and there's the largemouth. He's about 2.5, 3 inches maybe. That's the prize catch of the day right there. All these fellas, they go out and they trying to catch the biggest bass possible. I promise you, it takes more talent to catch a 3-inch bass than it does to catch a 5-6 pounder. There's more, I know for a fact there's more 5-6 pounders caught than they are 3-inchers. It's hard for a 3-incher to get a hook in their mouth. Oh, that one right there spit it. I think that was another bluegill right then. I'll throw back over. I'm gonna keep casting over here for a minute. The wind's wanting to push me on. Well, we're gonna sit here. I don't know how I feel about my seat today. I've put them blocks on. I don't think I like it. I put some blocks under the back of my seat to raise it up. Some people do that. They say it makes it more comfortable. I don't know that it does after being out here. How long we've been filming now? An hour. I don't know how I feel about it. This bluegill says he don't feel good about it. He's got a hook in the jaw. Come on, bluegill, come on up here. I'll make a couple more casts over there. We're getting a bunch of bluegill, but they're this size right here. They're in that 5-6 inch range. I'll have to spin back over here, get a little closer to it. We're gonna catch 2 or 3 more maybe, and we'll move on, see if we can find something a little bigger, a little better quality bluegill anyway. Seems like the better bluegill we've gotten down through here have kind of been individual fish, not in a school. About to spook all these fish anyway. I'm getting too close over here. I'm gonna try to see if I can see down in the water. The water's clear right here. See a bunch of largemouth, it looks like, real tiny ones. Oh, one of them hit me then too. See if I can get another one with 3-inchers. None of y'all want to see me catch a 3-inch largemouth, but I was trying my dangest right there. All right, let's move along here. I've probably spooked these now that I've got on top of them. Let's just spin back around and keep making our way down the shoreline until hopefully we see some skipjack going crazy. I hope we get on some skipjack today. I'm in trouble for bait. I've got some frozen ones in my freezer there at the house, but I prefer fresh whenever I can get it. I've been catching skipjack pretty easily lately. It's just been mid to late morning type of bite. Hopefully here pretty soon this whole heat wave will break and we can get some more comfortable temperatures, and we're gonna put a new gulp on there. I reckon that bluegill bit the tail off that thing, man. That was uncalled for. That's damaging property right there. One of you needs to call the law on that fish. Good thing I put that other jar of Gulp in my pea cup today. We was running low before I did that. Come on, Gulp, slide on that hook. There you go. That's a winner right there. I bet you we're gonna catch 8-inch bluegill on that right there. Maybe a 14-inch smallmouth. I'd like to get a big smallmouth today. I've been getting them. Seems like these ultralight videos, these raw and uncuts, seems like I've got a pretty good smallmouth and just about every one I filmed this year. Seems like. Y'all know better than me. Y'all watch these things. When I do these videos like this, I ain't watching them back. It's too long. A normal video that I'm editing, I will obviously watch it back before I post it just to make sure that it's edited properly, that I ain't left something in that shouldn't be there. But these raw and uncut, it is what it is. I basically upload the footage to my computer. I chop off the beginning there before, where I turn that period of time before I start talking, when the camera's running but I ain't talking yet. I chop that off. And that little bit of period of time when I end the video, after I stop talking before I hit the button, I chop that off. Everything else, it is what it is. There was something big splashing right there. So, with my memory being what it is, y'all know more about the fish I've caught in these ultralight videos than what I do. Move around over here. There's all this wood and stuff right here. I think it's got some of them long skinny branches coming off. I call them jig catching branches because you lose so many jigs on them. We're gonna move around it. Get over here on the other side of it. Yeah, it's got several of them jig catching branches coming off. That's the biggest downfall of these type of videos, is having to retie when you get snagged. And you throw into this mess, I mean, you're gonna snag some. It's just inevitable. A lot of you sit through it for me. I'm impressed with you. average watch time on these videos. That last one I done was over 3 hours long, because I was talking about in that video how I was going to do one of these videos that would be the full trip, 3, 4. Normally I was cutting them off between 1 and 2 hours. And that last time I come out, I'd fished for a couple hours, and then I was getting ready to cut the video off, and these schools of bass started blowing up topwater. And so I just kept it running, and it ended up being a little over 3 hours long. And so kind of just run the experiment with that video to see, like, would people watch a 3 to 4 hour long video? And sure as the world, by gosh, y'all did. I know most of you's probably like broke it up in sections, but by gosh, it got watched. The average view time on that thing was amazing. So I think when I do these type videos in the future, I'm gonna reel in this fish right here first, but I'm just gonna let that camera go, and we'll end the video when I end the trip. This bluegill said he wished I'd ended the trip about 5 minutes ago before I showed up to him. He didn't want no hook in the jaw this morning. That water, I bet you there's 10 foot of visibility down there. Y'all probably can't see down in that water. I see that log all the way down there. That's where that small bait and the light line comes in handy in this clear water. Because if I can see them, I guarantee you they can see us. There's another tree that comes out right here. We'll let that thing sink down a little farther. This whole area through here, real steep off this bank, comes down. It gets deep pretty quick. My kayak right now, I ain't got the graph on this kayak to tell you an exact depth, but I'm probably somewhere between 12 and 15 feet deep here where I'm setting. Obviously it gets progressively shallower as it goes up, but this jig, the advantage to using a lightweight jig head like I've got is that it falls very slowly through the water, and it gives those fish, even a fish that's kind of inactive or reluctant to bite, as it falls just in front of their face very slowly, it gives them more time to make that bad decision of eating it. But the downside of a jig falling that slowly through the water is that when you're fishing a little bit deeper depths, or you're trying to let the jig sink to the deeper depths, it takes longer to get down there, so you got to have a little bit more patience. And I'm not always the most patient person. I get spoiled with this type of fishing, and you get on like that tree we got on back there, where you're getting one bite after another, and then you go a spell where you ain't caught a fish in 10 minutes, and I start getting a little antsy, I start getting impatient, so I'm not letting that jig sink down far enough, and I just compound my problem. Patience is a virtue, as the old saying goes. I can't believe I didn't get over that tree branch right there. I'm getting better at my casting, y'all. There's hope for me yet. Probably ain't no hope of me ever fasting again, but as we reel in this small bluegill, I made too good a cast to catch that small fish. This fish says he wished he had been fasting today. He wouldn't have got a hook in the jaw. Fit down there. Go out that scupper hole, fish. There he goes. He went down the scupper hole of my kayak. I flushed him down the kayak toilet right there. I don't dare say it. After what happened the last time, I made myself look foolish. There's another rock that juts out over here, and I have to believe I'm going to catch a fish on it. That last rock I said that about, I looked dumb. But I really think this one over here, I think this is the one that's going to, there's going to be some fish stacked up under it. We're going to find out. First cast ain't looking too good. I didn't want to catch one on the first cast anyway. Let's see if we can make another cast over there to it. It might just be them fish trying to make me look dumb. They said if I look dumb, y'all won't watch no more. If y'all don't watch no more, maybe they can get out of getting caught, but ain't how it works, fish, because I'm going to do this crap whether people watch or not. I like doing this style of fishing. The fact that people watch allows me to do it a little more often. Okay, we're catching something right there. I see the edge of that rock. It's got to have like a little, create like a little sealing effect under it over there. My gosh, I didn't catch nothing. Y'all, next time I see a rock that I'm confident I'm catching a fish on, just tell me to shut up. I can't believe it. Made 3 casts on that thing, couldn't get a tap. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about when it comes to a rock. The only rock that I don't even know, but I watched him a lot, enough to be able to comment in an educated way, was the rock from wrestling back in the day. But these rocks out here, I don't know a damn thing, obviously. I get over here in a place I wouldn't necessarily expect to catch a fish, and we get a bite. Small bite, but it's a bite. There was something right there. We about in that, oh, here's one. We're about in that time period now. We should start seeing that fish popped off. We should start seeing some surface activity if we're going to see it today. I hope we see it. Need some bait, y'all. We need some bait. Need something other than these bluegill. I don't think I'm going to keep any more bluegill. I think we got, well, there's something getting chased right over yonder. That's probably just a bass right there. He ran him over there in that little nook and cranny back in there. I gotta be careful on this tree too. It's got them jig catching branches on it too. We hooked something over it on it. Another bluegill. Come on over, bluegill. How you doing today, bluegill? He says, doing fine. Thanks for asking. There's probably more fish right here by this tree. When you see them branches like that, you're just begging to catch them. The bigger limbs, your jig will hit them. Kind of land on them or fall beside them. But those, you can't work a jig down through that without catching a branch. Move along here, y'all. Feel like that wind's starting to rustle the trees a little bit. We don't want to see none of that today. The wind ain't your friend when you ultralight fishing. This fishes ain't his friend either. He said a friend wouldn't put a hook through the friend's jaw. I'm disappointed that fish don't want to be my friend. Feel like I'm a friend to all fish except fish I'm using for bait. All the rest of them I'll let go. That wind's gonna push me right up on the shore, ain't it? We're gonna have to work around this wind here. Ain't too bad, but we don't want it getting any worse than it is. Hopefully it's just a random gust or two. Just Mother Nature whispering sweet nothings in our ear. I thought I had one taken off of my line, but I guess I was imagining it. So there wasn't nothing there when I picked up. I hear voices over there behind me on the shore. I wonder if them people can hear me. Sound carries across water. I don't guess it matters if they hear me. If they watch this video, they'd hear me talking. I doubt any of them will watch, though. What kills me is these people that they claim they watch, and then they ask me questions I've answered 47 times. Like, how many times in these ultralight videos have I talked about my jig heads? 1/64 ounce, number 8 hook. And then I'll get a comment, hey man, watched all your ultralight videos, wondering what size jig head you use. It's like, yeah, you watched them all right. Like we've done started our relationship with a lie here, obviously. The other people that kill me in the comment box with that type of stuff is like they'll make a comment saying, hey, you know, tried your ultralight technique. I used a ultralight rod and 6-pound line and, you know, number 4 size hook or whatever, and I'm just not catching that many fish, or I'm ripping my gulp every time, or you know, do you have any advice? I'm like, yeah, this is the setup I use. I talk about it in every video. There's a method to my madness. Like, I'm not saying that my way of doing things is the only way or even the best way, but it clearly, there's a reason why I do it. It works for me. And so if you deviate from the type of hooks and jig heads and all that I use, and you don't have the same results or the same good experience, well, don't come to me complaining that you ain't had the same experience, because you were the one that chose to not do the blueprint or the method that I laid out. You know, I don't understand them, but I get a lot of complaints like that. Yeah, I was using 8-pound line. I can't cast that 1/64 ounce jig head. Well, no kidding. I get a kick out of it, really. I ain't getting a kick out of getting snagged over here, but I do get a kick out of people that leave comments like that. Let's see if we can get this one free without having to break off. Y'all don't want to see me retie another jig, do you? I'm going to have to work a deal with this tree here. Oh, come on now. I ain't going to be able to get it. It's too deep. I'm going to get, well, I'm in this tree right here beside me. Yeah, unfortunately, y'all, I think we're going to have to break this one off. Let's push ourselves out of this tree before retie. I need y'all to retie this for me is what I need to do. Actually, that should be your all's job in these videos here, is to, when I break off, y'all retie for me. I'm gonna get my glasses there that Lynn got me out again. That was actually a big help with tying on that other one there. She sent me these on, she sent me a bunch of stuff from the Amazon Prime Day. Got me some flip-flops, got me some shirts. I mean, she really took care of me. But these reading glasses here, making that eye of that jig head just a little bigger, that makes a world of difference in me being able to see. I probably need to go to the eye doctor, but I just refuse to do it, just out of principle. I don't feel that old that I need to go to the eye doctor, so I couldn't. I'd have to have glasses. Like, if I ever did need, like truly need glasses, I'd have to actually get glasses. There's no way that I could wear contacts. I just couldn't. I can't do it. My eyes water just thinking about touching my eyeballs. I don't know how people do it. That was always a difficult thing for me. You know, somebody'd come to eat back, and I was working a real job, you know, in the ER. I'd have to have somebody, you know, got to flush out their eyes or something, and well, my eyes would be watering just as bad as theirs was, just going through it. I don't know why it's like that, but if somebody else's eyes water and mine just naturally start doing it too. Put us another gulp on there and get back to it. Danged old tree over there wasn't going to give up that jig. He wanted a souvenir. The other jig head will probably be on eBay next week. Knowing that tree, I've heard about it. That's how that tree is. I ain't gonna lie, y'all, I'm a little bit concerned that we're not seeing any kind of topwater action through here from the skipjack yet. I'm beginning to wonder if maybe they gone. A little concerning, but the morning's young. Well, I don't know if y'all having good. I'm having a good time doing what we're doing here. I like catching me a bunch of fish. I like catching them on the ultralight. I'd rather be doing this than catching skipjack for sure. But I do need some skipjack. It's a need versus want type thing. That's the best I can explain it. Oh, what a terrible cast that was. I'm gonna let it sink down now and see if I can make something out of it. Make a lemonade out of a lemon here. No such luck. We'll see if I can make a better cast next time. That last cast was so bad, a fish would probably been embarrassed to eat the jig on that one. Some more. We've come into some more wood over here. There ought to be something around it. That one tree over there that we went by a few minutes ago was just stacked with bluegill. They might be relating to wood today. Something. This is a little bigger one here, I think. No, he ain't either. Well, he felt good. You felt good for your size when I picked up on you, Blue. He must have been in a branch or something. There's no way he felt that good for no bigger than he is. Just throw over there again. Nailed it. Nailed it. These bluegill are on the trees. I saw about the best treehouse I ever seen in my life the other day. Somebody had put some work into that thing. They had to spend a few $1,000s probably just in lumber to build that treehouse, but I mean, some kid was having the time of their life in it, I'm sure. Unless they're one of them people that Airbnbs it or something, you know. What about you, Fish? You ever rented an Airbnb? This fish has never paid rent in his life. Never one time in his life. I tell you, I don't hardly Airbnb anymore. I used to, back when Airbnb was kind of first getting going. I thought it was awesome because you could get a nicer place for less money than a hotel. But something changed in the last 2 or 3 years now, where it's just these homeowners, they're tacking on all these cleaning fees and stuff, and I feel like Airbnb's fees have went up. And you know, it's just now you spend more for a Airbnb, a house that's just a dump, than what you can get a nice hotel for. And at least the hotel, you're going to have a maid service to make your bed, and you're going to have a continental breakfast with some dried out eggs and some rotten pancakes, you know. At least going to get something. And these Airbnbs, the last few of them I've stayed at, and I don't know if this is a common thing or, well, I guess it is, because I've seen people complaining about it online, so it may have happened to y'all too. But these Airbnb hosts or homeowners, whatever you call them, they want you to clean the damn house before you leave. The last ones I've stayed at, here's another fish. Let's pulling good right here too now. What is that? That's another bluegill. That's a good one though. That's another good one right there. Nice bluegill right there, man. That was a real good one. What about you, bluegill? You want your measurement taken here? You mean put you on the board and see how big you are? You lay right there and be good, okay? No, he ain't 8. I thought he was gonna be 8 inches. My eyes must still be, they still got the magnification on from the reading glasses. Things looking 25% bigger. I'm telling you, I gotta start handing them glasses out to the ladies before nighttime activities. But no, them Airbnb hosts, they've got a list of instructions before you check out of. They want you to strip the beds, load the dishwasher, turn it on, pile stuff up in front of the washing machine, take out the trash down to the curb, all this stuff. I'm like, well, hell, fuck, why do I gotta pay $100 cleaning fee if I'm cleaning a house? And all that's included when you go to the hotel, so I just don't think it's gonna, they're gonna have to change their ways if they want me to come back. We got another big bluegill right here. We got another one on right here, man. It's a dang good one. I see him down there. I'm gonna measure this one too. I think this one, he's at least the same size as the other one. He's ate that jig. We may keep this one because he's ate that jig a little deeper. Yeah, he may be okay. Yeah, we're gonna keep this one anyway. He ate it deep enough. We'll keep him. Let's put him on board before we do it. Don't poke me in the foot now, fish. Yeah, there's another one there, probably 7.5 inches or so. You going in the cooler. That fish tried to pee on me as I turned around to... He did pee on me. Look at this. Look at my leg right here, y'all. You see that? That's pee-pee. That fish just sprung a leak all over me. Jagging fish, man. Can't believe that. He got the last laugh on me. Let's throw over there again. That's 2 good bluegill off that. Got all this wood right here, all these trees coming out. Yeah, them Airbnbs, man. If I'm gonna clean your damn house, first off, I don't want to clean your damn house. But if I'm gonna do it, don't charge me $100. They basically charging me for the privilege of cleaning their house. So I about got the point. I just assume stay at a hotel. And just not fool with the hassle, you know. The advantage when you're traveling with your kayak or boat or whatever, the advantage of staying in an Airbnb at this point, really the only advantage, is to be able to run an extension cord from the house out to your kayak or boat or whatever, be able to charge your batteries. You don't have to break everything down, take it inside to charge. That's really the only advantage to an Airbnb these days, in my opinion. I kind of feel like Uber and Lyft, you know, them taxi cab. As I nail this tree here with my pedal drive, I guess let's try that again. We might get around this tree, y'all. Bear with me. There we go. But I feel like, you know, if I go out of town somewhere and I need a taxi, I don't even think about getting a taxi. Like I'm gonna get on the app there and get an Uber or a Lyft. So I feel like those companies really broke the taxi cab industry. Or at least, well, I don't even know how the taxi cab companies do anymore. They used to be rip-offs. You know, you go somewhere and they'll take you the long way around because they want to maximize your time in the cab, run up the toll, as I've hooked a tree over here now, and shoot it back at it. Put your eye out right there. But Ubers and the Lyfts, you know, you know what you pay in there. So I feel like they've kind of broken the taxi cab industry, but I don't think Airbnb has done a particularly good. I thought they were on their way to disrupting the hotel industry, but somewhere along the way they dropped the ball. And Verbo is the other one. They're the site that you rent a whole house on. They're just as bad with the cleaning and stuff, with people leaving you checklists of stuff to do. Anyway, that's another long-winded thing that you would have to be subjected to listening to if you were out here fishing with me. But in reality, you had zero desire to ever hear. Some people ask me, like, when I go fishing by myself, you know, if I'm just on a bait run, I don't have a camera, something like that, am I talking to myself? And the answer is no. I'm not actively having this conversation out loud that I'm having with you right now, but this, truth be told, probably is the type of thing that I would be thinking about as I move along. I'd have some random thought of Airbnb and how much I dislike their cleaning fees pop into my mind, and I would dwell on that for a couple minutes. So it kind of is the same thing in a roundabout way. We'll keep making our way along, but I'm telling y'all, I'm worried I ain't seeing No surface activity, none. And I've been catching quite a few skipjack right here above the dam. I ain't seeing nothing today. I know this area has been hit hard lately with the bait dealers and other catfishermen in the area. Word's out on it. There's been a good population of skipjack down here, but I just ain't seeing nothing today. I may have to end up going on up river ways, see if I can find them upstream somewhere. That sun's getting higher in the sky now. Won't be much longer. I'm gonna be out when I run out of shade over here on the shoreline. I'm gonna put this ultralight up because I definitely need to try to get some skipjack today, and I don't want to be out here when it's blazing hot. Hell, it'll probably feel like 100 degrees by 10, 11 o'clock, you know. That humidity just makes it feel so much hotter. Feel like you're in a dang sauna. I feel bad for Daphne the dog, you know, because she's a dark colored dog anyway, and she wants to get outside and play. She's got so much energy that she just always wanting to go play, but she just can't play very long in this heat because it just wears her out, you know. She comes back in and just plops down on the floor all dramatically, panting something terrible. But she just can't help herself. She wants to go out there so bad that she'll go run hard for a few minutes and come back in and plop down for a half hour, and then she's ready to go do it again. There's another one. I tell you, caught several fish today. I don't know how many we're up to now. I had one fella, I think it was the last. Oh, he's in my seat. That bluegill right there tried to hop in my lap like old Santa Claus there. Like a kid in Santa Claus telling him what he wants for Christmas. Bet you that fish probably got an old Sears catalog wish book. You remember them, the Christmas catalogs? I used to look, I guess Sears is out of business now, but I used to have them as a kid. You could see all the toys you wanted. I don't even remember what I know I was saying. As a fella, I'd shout him out. I'd let this fish shout him out here. But I can't remember his screen name on there. But he did one of my recent ultralight trips. He posted the stats, man. He posted how many fish were caught, all the different species, how many jigs were lost, how many snags. I mean, he paid attention for the whole video too. He went above and beyond. He's the MVP of that video. That bluegill over there ain't never been MVP of nothing. I don't know what them fish are on right back in here, but it's a few fish now. All in that same area. I had another one hit me just then. They seem to be smaller though. Let's keep moving along here. We're running out of shade. We're gonna have to get on the move. I don't know if I'll take y'all trolling with me or not, because I may not. With me not seeing any kind of surface activity, nothing going on, I don't think it's going to be a real active skipjack or white bass bite today. I don't know that y'all would want to watch such a thing. At least with this style of fishing here. There's another one's pulling like a devil over there. He's taking some drag, wasn't he? I think that's one of them sunfish right there. It is. One of them old green sunfish. Hello, Mr. Sun. I think I'll take you. Let's take you with us. Yeah. I wasn't going to keep no more, but I'm going to keep that old green sunfish over there. But at least this ultralight fishing, you know, I'm gonna catch a fish pretty regularly throughout this video. We may have stretches 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes of a real bad stretch, but we're going to be catching a bunch of fish and getting a lot of action, a lot of taps, you know, all that. But if I'm working them skipjack and I ain't on them, that may make for a boring video. I don't know that y'all want to be subjected to that. Usually though, when I've made my bait runs this time of the morning, you'll just see them all over out here in the main channel. I mean, they've been mostly kind of out in the middle of the channel, but you just see them coming up every which way. Not today though. They must know how bad I need some. I've basically got tomorrow all day and maybe part of the next day before the weather's supposed to turn bad again. I think we're supposed to get a bunch more rain coming up. You know, who knows the weather report? It's always a crapshoot, but I've only got maybe 2 more sessions that I can do catfish on before I'm gonna get washed out again. So I got a trip coming up to North Carolina. I'm gonna go over there to Kerr Lake, fish a tournament. So I'm gonna go over there a few days early. I ain't never fished over there on Kerr Lake before, so I'm gonna have to learn my way around, you know, figure out a bite and figure out how to catch bait over there. I think they use mostly white perch over there, which should be easy to catch. White perch they're easier to catch than bluegill in my opinion. So if that is the premier bait over there, it shouldn't be too difficult to get a hold of them, but I still got to learn my way around, figure out a strategy from what I'm going to do on tournament day. So I'm going to try to make the most of my catfishing time here before the weather gets bad, and I don't know if I'll be able to catfish here again or not until I get back from North Carolina. I don't know how long I'm going to go over there for. The tournament is on a Sunday, so I'd like to get at least 2 days of practice for sure. Get a feel for things. But I'm going to see what the weather's going to be like over there. You know, I don't want to go over real early and the weather be bad there and me just get stuck in a hotel, you know. That ain't worth doing. Oh, that's a fish. That's a bass right there. That's the biggest bass of the morning thus far. Can't tell if it's a largemouth or a smallmouth yet. Large jaw. Hello, large jaw. He splashed me in the face. I got water right in the kisser. Did you get the camera wet too? A couple weeks ago, when I was out here doing the last ultralight video, we got on some schools of bass that were all schooled up and chasing bait and stuff, and caught some of them. Let that one go. He's done thrown our gulp off. But I ain't seen them schools of bass. I ain't seen schools of nothing out here. So I don't know. They must have moved on. They either moved on or they just ain't active today. As many bluegills we've caught and even fish like that, you know, I have to believe there's somewhere out here. There's something going on. Something going on. There's a belief in my mind. That's my nose. I gotta scratch my nose, y'all. I had a bug or something up my nose. But there's a belief in my mind that there's always fish biting somewhere. They may not be biting where you're at. They may not be biting the bait or the technique that you're doing. But there's always something willing to eat. no matter the weather, the water conditions, it don't matter. These fish ain't gonna starve to death. They're gonna eat. You see that in tournament situations. You can go out and have a terrible tournament, not get a bite. Somebody's gonna bring a fish to the scale. Or in the kayak world, you know, they're gonna post it to the leaderboard. It's gonna happen. So it's just a matter of figuring out where they're at and what they're biting. It's one of the reasons why I've thrown over that branch. There it comes. It's one of the reasons I think I like this technique so much with this ultralight and the Gulp, is because it works pretty much everywhere and you always catch fish with it. You know, it's one of them things that's simple. You don't have to put a lot of thought into it. Like, I know when I go ultralight fishing, this is what I'm gonna do. I don't have to second guess myself putting on a different color or a different style of bait. You know, let's say I go 15-20 minutes without a bite. A bass fisherman, you know, where they got 6 or 8 rods laid out over their bass boat, they go a little while and they ain't getting bit on a spinner bait. Well, they're gonna pick up a crankbait, or they're gonna pick up a jig. They're constantly changing baits all damn day. You know, they're second guessing themselves to death. I don't second guess myself at all with the bait I'm throwing, because it's what I got with me. It's what I know when I leave the house, I'm throwing this bait for the duration of my trip. So it takes that whole, anything about being indecisive, takes it off the plate. Now, I may second guess myself the place that I fish at, but not the bait itself. So if I go for a stretch, 15-20 minutes, I don't get a bite, well, I know I'm going to eventually, because this don't matter the conditions, you're just going to get bit on this. But the only time you really got to change with this is just if it's real muddy water or real windy. If it's real windy, you ain't going to be able to feel the bite. You're going to have either a heavier jig head or something a little bit more active presentation. But I sure have fun doing this. I think if more people give it a shot, this style of fishing would become very popular, just because everybody's got access to either bluegill or perch or crappie, you know, something. But not everybody has access to things like trophy size fish. You know, somebody's water just don't have them. The fish are stunning, or they don't get big there for whatever reason. But you can go out and have a dang good time with 5-inch bluegill or 6-inch perch. There's some shad right there. That's the first school of shad I've seen out here this morning. Thought I saw something busting over there across the channel to the left of me. That's encouraging. That's something. That's the first anything that looked like skipjack out here today. Oh, I do see them. They're over there busting over there on that other shoreline over there, y'all. All right, that's something, by gosh. We're at least seeing some activity. I know where I'm going to start at now. I know I'm going to get myself snagged apparently over here too. If we break this off, we're just going to go after the skipjack. I told you, it's been late mornings lately for some reason before you ever see any surface activity. I don't know why. I don't know what's going on with these fish, but that's just the way it's been lately. We got that jig back. We got lucky on that one. Let's see if I can get myself out of here without getting another rod behind me in these trees. All right. There's another boat over there too. I can't tell what they're doing. I think they might be going back to the ramp. I saw a whole big school of something. I assume skipjack, who knows? Too far away to really tell, but yeah, that's what we fixing to do, y'all. We fixing to go over there, get us some skipjack. Tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make one more cast this ultralight, and then we taking off. How long we been at this now? Oh yeah, we've been at this almost 2 hours. Lord, y'all done, most of you's done tuned out anyway. That sun's getting high in the sky here. I'm running out of shade. And I don't want to be out here when it's miserable hot, so I'd like to load up on skips. And they just on the other side of the channel over there. One more cast. One more cast with Shaw Grigsby. Or was it one last cast? He was that bass fisherman back in the day. Come on after Bill Dance and Hank Parker and Roland Martin. Well, I sure was hoping to end the ultralight session with a fish. Let me just make one more cast. I thought there might be one final bluegill that wanted to be on video. Ungrateful bluegill. Trying to make them famous, and they don't care. They don't give a diddly doo-doo. I ain't seeing them skipjack busting over there no more. But at least I know where some's at. Alright, y'all. Y'all want to come with me while I troll around, try to catch some skips? I'm going to take this Gulp off here. If you ever leave Gulp on your hook, now I've done it a bunch where I've just forgot, good luck. You just might as well throw the jig head away, because them things will dry on there and they'll be hard as a rock. Let me show you let me make sure we ain't got water all over the lens. That bass got me in the mouth. No, y'all, boy, I'm dark on the screen. Let me turn back this way where y'all can see. These are my skipjack rigs here. These are just bass fishing rods, like 7 foot, medium heavy. 3,000 size reels. I got, I think 20 or 30 pound braid from a main line, and then like 15 or 20 pound fluoro for the leader. But I've just got trout magnets on here, and these are these trout magnet jig heads, the ones that were the wrong size that I got. It's like probably 1/32 ounce size, and the, I don't know, number 6, maybe number 4 size hooks. I'm using those with white trout magnets right now, because again, these skipjack I've been catching, they're spitting up just tiny shad fry that are comparable size to this bait here. When I'm throwing the bigger spoons or bigger jigs, I ain't getting the action that I am on these smaller baits. So both of my setups here are the exact same, and I'm just going to cast these out behind me and troll around. My pedal kayak here, obviously I don't have a graph, so I can't tell you the speed. Where's this boat going? Is he going over here? Where them? I thought he was. Oh, okay, they're loading up. I thought sure they were over there by the ramp. I thought surely. Now I've got this thing tangled around my other line. Bear with me here a second, y'all. I thought surely they're not going back down there where the skips are busting. But my pedal kayak here, even though I don't have a graph to be able to monitor my speed, I know just from history in this kayak that a casual pedaling pace is somewhere between 2.5 and 3 miles an hour. And that is a perfect speed to troll for skipjack. So I'm going to cast these lines behind me here, and with these lighter jig heads, obviously I can't cast very far, so I'm just going to have to let out some extra line as we move along. I could add some weight above my leader, but I don't want to, because I want these things, well, we may want to today, but when fish are feeding up near the surface, you want to keep your baits up near the surface because they're feeding up. So you want to keep your baits up above them. So I don't want to be adding weight and running these things lower down in the water column. All right, let's get over here. I saw them busting over here along the shoreline. I'm gonna bring y'all with me. If you don't like this trolling, you can just go ahead and click off the video. I'm done ultralight fishing for today. I gotta get my other glasses here. It's get out here in the sun, it gets bright. Now we on the move. We're gonna go over here and see if we can get us some skips. Might pick up some along the way too. But this speed right here, just, you know, normal pedal, adjust the camera a little bit. This is the perfect speed. You don't need no graph for this. Some people say that the skipjack are sensitive to the fish finders, the transducer beam. They recommend, some people recommend turning your graph off when you're fishing for them anyway. I don't know if that's true. I've had my graph on before. My other kayak trolled directly through a school of them and caught fish as soon as my bait gets to them. So I don't know if that's true, but you never know. There was one jumping up out of the water right there. But the point is, you don't need a graph. You can keep your setup very simple and catch yourself plenty of fish. This kayak here, the only modifications I've made to this thing is I mounted 2 rod holders on it. So very simple, basic setup, and I can come out and catch a ton of fish in it. I'd like to catch me about, I'd like a dozen skipjack probably. Somewhere between 12 and 20 will be enough for the next couple days. I'm gonna look at my analytics on this video too. I'm gonna see if a bunch of people dropped off. A lot of people don't like trolling for some reason. I like trolling. I think it's an effective way to fish. It allows you to keep 2 baits in the water at all times. It's just more efficient than casting, because every time you make a cast, there's a few seconds there where your bait is up out of the water, you're rearing back to casting forward, and it's only a few seconds. But you multiply that out over a 4-6 hour trip, it's a lot of time without baits in the water, and you can only cast 1 rod at a time, unless you're one of them radioactive people that's got a 3rd or 4th arm. Trolling, I can keep 2 rods in the water at all times here. Adjust this camera, maybe y'all can see something. That might help keep y'all engaged. Them fellas over at the ramp's watching me. You think they know me? Some people know me, they stop and talk to me and stuff. I don't mind it. But I don't like talking on camera around people, you know. I'm weird about that. I've never gotten over it. Alright, we're over here where some fish were at. I see some more right down here. We'll hopefully get some. I just don't know why these fish are biting so late in the morning with all the surface activity. Normally it's a dawn to an hour or so after sunrise type thing, but here lately it's just been late morning. They need to wrap it up by 11 o'clock though, because I'm going to go to Donna's Diner and get me something to eat. That's when I think that's when they start serving lunch over at Donna's, 11 o'clock. I see some more over there to the right. There's definitely some here. Whether or not we get any, we'll see. I'm not seeing as much activity as what I've been seeing lately, but maybe we're just kind of at the beginning stages of it here, because this is the first activity I've seen at all out here this morning. There's one. There's one. I think we had two on. We lost one. Come on, Skippy. We need you now. You threw your friend off. All right, y'all. There's one old Skippy. Give me that hook back, Skippy. Give me that hook back. Where'd my pliers at, y'all? Goodness gracious. Well, he does not want to give that hook back. He won't calm down for nothing either. Look at him showing out there. There we go. Lordy days, fish. He's definitely going in the cooler. All right. One down, about 11 more to go. Let's fix our trout magnet back on here. He got it all twisted up too, didn't he? The trout magnets they're thin plastic, you know, because they're small bait. That's why I prefer using the crappie magnets, which are bigger, but I just can't get them to eat the crappie magnets right now. They're keyed in on that small bait, so I got to give them what they want. But them trout, here's one. Let me put that one back in the holder. Oh, that one come off. All right, let's let out some more line on this one. Yeah, we're on them here, y'all. Okay, that ought to be good. Well, let's just troll up and down through here where we're seeing them. Them weeds right there is what we're going to try to avoid. Catching a glob of algae with these trout magnets, that's the equivalent of getting in a snag with the ultralight. It takes forever to pick all that algae and stuff off, and there's quite a bit of it out here. Like this right here, I'll show you. We're going to pass it up right there. Hopefully you can see that right there. That stuff, man, you get that stuff on your jigs, it takes forever to pick off all the little strings of it and stuff. Hopefully we're going to avoid that. We're just going to make some passes up and down through here. I'm going to loop around. We'll go up closer to the shoreline. When we come back out the next one, if we don't get any there, we'll move out a little farther. Just kind of work it like a grid. Oh, I thought one hit me over there. I'm pretty sure that first skipjack that we caught, I'm pretty sure there was a double on. One of them come off. Boosts my confidence a little bit though to know that there's some here today. I was beginning to get worried when I wasn't seeing any kind of activity at all. I was like, I'm gonna miss out on them today. I'm gonna be stuck using some bluegill, only bluegill on the next trip. And we at least got us one skipjack, if nothing else. Alright, let's go back the other way. Be nice if we could get one or two skips per pass down through here. Wouldn't take us long at all. I ain't seeing nothing right now though. I ain't seeing nothing busting. Other issue we may have is, one, this camera battery is going to die at some point here. I think the last one, I think my battery pack lasted 2 hours and something last time. The other thing is this direct sun out here may fry the camera, overheat it. So we may randomly cut off here at some point. I'll have to either put the camera in the cooler, let it cool down a minute, or switch out the battery pack. Where did them skips go, man? There was something busting. When we were on the other side of the channel, they were blowing up. Didn't last long though, but they couldn't have went far. I'm glad them fellas in the boat left. We got this whole place to ourselves right now. It's nice. I like having a whole lake to myself. I'm selfish like that. Kids up there at the swimming hole, I think it's about time for them to go back to school. It's a double-edged sword. You know, the kids that go back to school means there's less people on the lake, which is nice. But when they go back to school, you got school zones and extra traffic in the mornings. So, double-edged sword. It's getting daylight later and later in the mornings now too. We've crossed that point in the summer. I think, what is it? June 20th, 21st. It's the longest day of the year. Then after that, you start losing like a minute of sunlight per day. So at this point, we're on the tail end of summer at this point. Man, I ain't seeing no skips through here now. Nothing. They were going crazy a few minutes ago. I wish y'all tell me where they went. I know y'all had your eye on them. Alright. Well, we're going to loop out. Go a little bit further to the left over here. Maybe they moved out a little bit deeper water. Let's just go up here past the boat ramp though before we turn. I ain't seeing nothing though. Must just be an inactive day. I mean, lately when I've come out on bait runs, it's literally been like just the water erupting everywhere. And today there's just nothing happening. I'll keep going here though. I need some, so we're gonna have to grind. Grinding for bait, that's what I do. People see you, there's one. People see you catfishing and stuff. They don't put much thought into how much time you have to spend into catching bait. Oh, he flung it off too. Losing skipjack when you ain't hardly catching them hurts a little worse, y'all. If we were wearing them out, losing one wouldn't be a big deal. But since we ain't, hurts a little more. Alright, let's loop back around now. There's some out there. There's some out there to the left of me. We're just gonna circle back. We're gonna go a little bit farther out this time. We're just literally gonna work it like a grid. Try to hit all these different lanes down through here. We'll work into them. Even if it's one here, one there, we're gonna grind it out because I need them. I ain't got no choice but to do it. If you want to go catch a catfish, you gotta have something put on a hook. And I don't want to be buying no chicken breast unless I have to. You can catch a fish with it. Some places you can catch a bunch of fish with it. But there's very few places and very few people that seems to. There was some right there busting in front of us. But that chicken just don't seem to catch big fish very consistently. So I'd prefer to have an actual oily, bloody fish to put on a hook. And out here in our waters, skipjack is probably the oiliest fish that we have. Definitely one of the bloodiest. You cut a skipjack open, man, it bleeds a lot. White bass don't bleed very much, but they're obviously a bigger bait. You know, more oil in them than something like a bluegill. Bluegill don't bleed very much either. I'll be curious to see how many people stick around for the trolling part of this video. A lot of people don't like trolling. It's kind of frowned upon for some reason. I think it's a very effective way to fish. It's fun. A lot of people don't like it. I guess maybe it's boring to watch because I'm not actively casting. There's maybe a lack of anticipation. You know, with ultralight, I'm making casts. Could get bit any moment. Never know what you're going to catch. Could be anything going to bite. With this, we pretty much know we're going to catch a skipjack or we're going to catch a bass of some species. Well, I'll tell you, as quick as they come up, they're gone. They just don't seem to be. They either ain't here in big numbers today or they ain't very active at this point. Apparently these fish don't know we try and film a video and get bait. Somebody didn't send them the memo. I'm going to blame y'all for that. I thought y'all was supposed to tell them. My job is to show up out here and bring the camera gear. Y'all are supposed to tell the fish when they're supposed to bite and how many of them supposed to bite. One of y'all dropped the ball on it. Must have sent an email not realizing these fish ain't got email. I need to check my spam email, see if there's any more bike offers in there. Daphne may have had another offer since that other bicycle video come out. And companies, they like seeing her in them. I only had one company that didn't like having her in the video. They was upset because they said she was too cute, and they felt like it took away. Having her in the video took away from the bicycle. But all the others seem to like having her in there. She sure likes being in there. She loves them bicycles. All this time, she still tries to eat the tires for some reason. I don't know if she'll ever outgrow that. She tries to eat my lawnmower tires too. Thankfully, she don't try to eat car tires. That could be bad. Where'd them fish go, y'all? Lord almighty, where'd they go? They just popping up occasionally. Ain't nobody gonna sit through. I'm gonna have to turn this crap off, man. Ain't nobody gonna sit through this without no fish biting. We're gonna loop out into a little deeper water here on this one. Loop out to the right. Kind of want to make a pass over here along the edge of the dam too, but I ain't seeing nothing over here. Let's just do it anyway. Let's run along the edge over here. Wait a minute. Well, there's some up there behind me, like on the shoreline, but it's another small school, it looks like. Let's just go over here along the dam, make a pass, see what's happening. still can't get used to my seat here. It feels different to me. Now that I've raised it up in the back, I guess it'll grow on me. This feels different. Everybody on the interweb, they claim raising this seat up in the back a couple inches on this kayak makes it more comfortable. To each their own, I reckon. This is Melton Hill Dam for anybody who gives a crap. I think this thing, I think a sign said it's built in the, I can't remember, 60s or 70s. Thought there was a sign over here that said, I can't remember. It was before my time, I know that. I wasn't even a, oh, right there's a fish. Right here by the dam wall. Ain't seeing nothing busting over here, but there's at least one that we're going to reel in here. I actually think that's a bass. Not a white bass either. I think it's a largemouth or spot or something. Well, there's a large jaw. You the wrong kind of bass. We need if we're going to catch a bass on these rigs, we need it to be a white bass. Get out of here. Back up here. Spun back around. That wind has blown us up on the dam wall here as we was going by. That's another one though. Another fish caught, wrong species. You don't fix your trout magnet back. That fish right there, he's done tried to rip it off. He wanted to take it home with him. Yeah, I'll be glad when they start eating a little bit bigger size shad fry again. That way I can use bigger hooks and more durable baits. Just letting this line out again. You can't cast very far with these light setups. Okay. Well, let's loop back around. I'm gonna keep the camera going for, I guess we'll keep it going one or two more passes here. We gotta be getting close to the end of my battery pack, y'all. That may be what we do. We may just end the video when my battery pack dies. But, you know, again, I don't know this style of fishing. When I do a normal edited video where I'm trolling for bait and stuff, it is not historically performed well. There's just not that much interest in it. People don't seem to like it. And so I don't know that any of y'all are going to want to see me doing this, especially in a raw and uncut video. It'd be one thing if like I was editing this and, you know, would be just showing the highlights of me reeling in fish, but all this time in between bites, especially on a day like today where it's kind of a sporadic bite, at least right now, you know, I'm just not, like right over there was some that come up. You can see I saw like 2 or 3 of them. It's a small school. It was right over there by them rocks too when they hit. But it's just kind of a sporadic bite, just kind of having to cover water and hope to run into them, you know. Lately though, it's been, you'll just see the surface erupting all over out here. They'll just be everywhere. They, like I said, they either ain't here today, they could be on upriver. Obviously they didn't go down, so they may be upriver from here possibly, or they just may not be real active, you know, who knows. There is still some here. And if I can just grind it out here for another hour or so, I'll probably at least get me enough to at least get one catfishing trip. But I don't know how entertaining it's going to be for y'all to watch it or not. We'll just leave it running, I guess, till the camera shuts off. We got to be getting close to the end of that battery. Right there was something right over there. Man, that, when I saw the others up there and I saw that, they're right up on the shoreline. I think that was the buffalo that just popped up there in front of us. Let's make a pass real shallow over here. See what we get. Hopefully what I'm seeing is actual skipjack and not bass. Tell you what though, you come through in the evenings right now, I bring a dog, there's a bunch of people over here standing trying to catch them off a bank. When word gets out about skipjack biting somewhere, everybody shows up. These dang things at the bait shop, $7, $8 a piece. Highway robbery. It's just gotten out of control with the amount of bait dealers and whatnot, but that's popularity catfishing. You know, a lot of people ain't going to get out here and do this. They either ain't got time to get out here and fish for bait, or they don't want to. Some people think you can only catch skipjack below dams and stuff, and you know, you go below something like our dams around here, you go below the dam, you might get some, but certain times of year. But around here it ain't like some of the other places where you just find like you go down below like nickajack and stuff, you can catch a bunch of skipjack there, it seems like all the time. Not up here. Sometimes you gotta just get out and hunt for them. Get out and troll around, and here's one. There's just one. You just come off too. Dadgummit. Well, they are really reluctant to bite today. Well, that's another one here, over here close to the shore. Yeah, just got to get out and grind. Right there's some up in front of us. I saw that one come out of the water. Just going to be a sporadic bite, looks like. This fish going to make me pedal is what they're going to do. They're going to make me pedal a few extra miles. That was something a little bigger right there. Well, may have to get an extra helping today over at Donna's of whatever their special is. Replace all these calories I'm burning off, because I sure ain't gonna be fasting today, by gosh. There's some more right up there busting. They seem to be kind of shallow through here, so we're gonna keep working this area here. Here comes some of them old jet skis. That's what we need. Yeah, we need some jet skis buzzing around out here. I'm the only person on the water right now, so you know good and well they'll ride over here by me. They always got to have an audience, you know. You know, it's funny, them jet skiers always seem to think people want to watch them. They're always riding around people. But if that was the case, that'd be like jet ski YouTube channels. That'd be real popular if people really wanted to watch them. But I may just be speaking like an idiot. There could be jet ski channels for all I know. They don't show up on my feed because I don't watch that crap. I don't want to see it out here. What really ticks me off is when they get out and they cause a lot of ruckus right around the boat ramps and stuff. It's such a nuisance when you're trying to load up and they're all buzzing around. Here's this one. Hopefully it's two of them on there. I actually think it is two of them on there. Let's see if we can get them both landed before one or both of them shake off. Come on, Skippy, I want both of them now. I need both of them. There you are. We got both of them that time too, by gosh. Alright. We getting there, y'all. We grinding. Slowly but surely, we grinding. There's just three total now. Skippy, calm down. These things don't want to calm down for nothing. They're so embarrassed being on video. They don't know how to act. Goodness gracious. Alright, there goes one in the cooler. Now let's get the other over here and get back on the mud. He de-hooked himself. He got tired of waiting on his friend. He just said he'll take the hook out on his own. Alright. Well, let's cast them back out and get back to it, y'all. There's 3. I'm going to circle out, and then we're going to go right back down kind of that same path I was on. We wasn't seeing many coming up, but we're seeing a few, so they're there. I'm going to reel this one in and check it to make sure I ain't got algae on it while we're making the turn here. Yeah, I did. I had algae all over that one. That's probably why that one ain't getting bit. This stuff here's the plague, man. It is just, you run over it, picks up on your hooks, and you don't know it's there. And you're just pulling along and you ain't getting bit, and then you reel in 20 minutes later and you're like, oh, well, that's why I ain't getting bit, because I got grass all over my lures. Well, we got a whole pack of jet skiers over here. It looks like 4 of them. That one guy's got a staring problem. He's staring me down. I can't stand people that stare. Sometimes I just want to stare back at them. Alright, let's go right back down here and that same path we took, kind of close to the shore. Three skips now. Got us, I don't remember how many bluegill I kept, a few. I definitely got enough bait for a catfishing trip tomorrow. But I want to make sure I got enough for a couple sessions. I really would like to have me at least a dozen skips total. Beggars can't be choosers, you know. Gotta take whatever a river gives me, but I hope it pans out. I need to bite quick before it gets any hotter, because it's getting hotter by the second. I may need some of them damn jet skiers to come over here and spray me down with water. Speaking of spraying with water, y'all got any water? No, you good. I thought them skipjack might have kicked up some water on the lens there. Y'all still looking sharp. Okay, right there's some more in front of us. We're coming up on here. Again, you know, you could see these schools like that come up, and we could run down there real quick, make some casts to them. But oftentimes, by the time you get to a school, they're gone. So that's why I like trolling, because I can, let's say that school's there and we're running up to them real quick to make casts. Well, maybe they were coming this way and they were going to run into our baits if we were actually trolling. Plus, just being able to have 2 lines out. You know, if you're in a boat, you can possibly put out even more lines because you got a wider platform. You could run planer boards if you want to and catch these skipjack and put out even more lines. But I'm about to the point in life. I've used planer boards for catfish and stuff, but I just hate it. Planer boards just take the fun out of it. It's just, I come to the conclusion a while back, if I got to use a planer board to catch a catfish, I'd just assume not catch a catfish. So I'm like that with pretty much any fish species going forward. If I got to use a planer board to catch them, I don't need to catch them. It just takes all the fun out of it. I'd rather catch less fish and have more fun with the fish I'm catching than to catch more fish and not enjoy catching any of them, if that makes sense. Like if it's just about, this is what kills me about these guys doing it. It's like if you just want to catch the most fish possible, you oughtn't to even be using rod and reel, you know, especially with catfish. Hell, go put out 100 jugs, go run trot lines, go get you commercial hoop nets and stuff. You'll catch way more fish than what you're going to catch on rod and reel. So if it's just about catching the most fish or the biggest fish, you're going about it all wrong. Me, I fish with rod and reel the way I do because it's fun, and I want to have fun. I want to have the most amount of fun possible. But that's just me. You can keep them damn planer boards. I've used them. I've caught fish with them. It's very effective. I mean, hell, when you can take a ledge and cover the whole, well, you can cover the whole damn river channel in some cases with them planer boards. It's hard not to catch a fish, but I hate it. I like suspending for catfish. It's more fun. The takedowns are amazing. Not always the most effective technique in every situation, but if I can catch them on suspended bait, I'm going to. I'd just much rather do that. There ain't a more fun way to catch them than on a suspended bait. All right, let's make a turn here and head back up. And put an eye on them jet skiers again. See if that one guy's still staring me down, giving me the stink eye. Probably a good thing we done with the ultralight fishing, because that wind has kicked up a little bit. Be blowing a bow in our line. I can't believe my camera's still going. We got even longer run time with the battery this time than last time. Let's see. Oh yeah, we're over 2.5 hours. GoPro battery pack for the win, y'all. Hell yeah, I'll say that and it'll immediately quit. It's gotta be close to being dead though. I've been taking my camera, the actual camera battery, I take it out and just plug the battery pack into the camera, because taking the battery itself out keeps the heat from being so bad inside the camera, keeps it from overheating. I promise you, with it, especially out here in this direct sun, if I had the normal GoPro camera battery in, we'd have done shut down by now. Especially in this GoPros and direct sun, even when it's not super hot, just a bad combination. But I'll tell you this, y'all, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you it's bye now, because when this camera shuts off, that's gonna be the end of this video. Even though I ain't done fishing, like I mentioned there earlier, it's a grind out here today trolling for these skips. It's one here, a couple there. It ain't just rods constantly going down like it has been lately. The last time I fished for skipjacks, hell man, I was loaded up. It took me like 20-30 minutes. I had a whole cooler full, because as soon as I could get a line in, I couldn't hardly keep moving. It was just one after another after another. Just ain't like that today. For whatever reason, we're either the bulk of the school has either moved on upriver, or they're here and just inactive. Maybe they're a little deeper, possibly. You know, I don't know. But the ones that are coming up, I mean, looks like very small schools of them, just very sporadic. So we'll, when this camera eventually cuts off here, probably in the next few minutes, we'll call that the end of the video to keep me from having to switch over to a new battery pack just to tell y'all bye. Probably ain't telling very many people bye anyway at this point. There ain't but 3 or 4 of you that's going to watch to this point in the video anyway. But hey, if you do watch to this point in the video, I appreciate the hell out of you. I want you to know that. Anybody that sticks with me to the end, especially with all the commercials crap that YouTube puts in these, especially these longer videos, I can't imagine how many commercials y'all have to sit through in this crap. That's why I recommend buying YouTube Premium, y'all. There's one. I spend the $13 a month to buy YouTube Premium, so I don't have to sit through any commercials. It's well worth it. Ain't nothing worse than watching a how-to video trying to learn how to fix something, and a commercial hits right before the part you need to get to in the video. There's just another skip. And there he goes too, unhooked himself. That fish has been trained well. Come on, Skippy. Let's get hold of you here and put you in the cooler, good buddy. There we go. Alright, y'all, back on the move. Let's let out some more line on this. It may just be a late morning, midday bite for these things too, you know. Here another 30 minutes an hour, they may be going crazy like they have been the past few times I've been out, but just ain't like that right here right now. Just sporadic school here and there. When we're seeing more jet skis than skipjack, that's a problem. And there's 4 jet skis over there and 4 skipjack in my cooler. But we're getting them. We definitely got enough catfish bait for tomorrow for sure. Worst case scenario, I use all my bait tomorrow for catfish, and then the next day I gotta go carp fishing. Darn. You don't have to twist my arm to go carp fishing, man. I love it. Really gotten into it. And carp are prevalent. They fight hard. Pound for pound, they fight harder than catfish. They're just a good time. Don't have to get out here and catch skipjack to catch carp. I can just go to the grocery store, get me some breadcrumbs and corn and jello. I don't even got to do that now, because I'll tell you what I've done, y'all. I've got me a whole bookcase at the house there, just loaded with cans of breadcrumbs and corn. I'm stocked up, man. I said, you know what? With inflation how it is, and the prices going up on stuff all the time, I said I'm just going to load up now for the apocalypse on the carp supplies. That way I'll have it when I want to go without having to go to the grocery store. And as prices keep going up, I'm already locked in on price because I've already bought it. So I got a whole bookcase shelf full of stuff, man. Well, that's the nice thing about carp. You can just use grocery store baits. Ain't got to get out here and get these sporadic skip. There was some right there. But you see, when they're coming up like that, it's just 1 or 2 fish. It's not like a big school of them today. They're just not super active today. We're gonna keep going down through here though, as hopefully the jet skiers move on. There goes one of them. There we go, another fish. Oh, we got 2 on here. We got a twofer. Let's see if we can keep them both hooked up. Oh crap, I lost one. We flung one of them off. We got this one though. Alright, good news. We've got more skipjack than jet skis now. One of them jet skis playing his music real loud. He can't listen to it at a reasonable volume. He'd probably get me dinged on YouTube for copyright violation if he gets too close over here. Let's fix that back. Alright, on the move again, y'all. Let's get on the move before my other one drags bottom and gets that algae all over it. We're getting them, man. We're getting them. Just grinding. Grinding like a girl at the nudie bar, man. Just working that pole. That's what you gotta do sometimes. Poor girl gotta grind that pole, make $1 to pay for her education. We out here grinding, trying to catch a skipjack to catch us a catfish tomorrow. Gotta do what you gotta do in life, people. I've had a good day out here regardless. You know, I had a good time ultralight fishing. Caught a bunch of bluegill. A few small bass over there. I'm getting some skipjack here now. It's a good day. Come out here in this kayak. I love this kayak. Just simple. No batteries to charge when I get home. No motor to fool with. I could do this pedaling pace right here. I mean, it's just a casual pace. I could do this all day. No issues. It's a good day, y'all. Hopefully those of you that stay, the 3 of you that have watched till the end here, hopefully it's been entertaining for y'all to listen to me ramble on and watch 5 skipjack and a bass get reeled in. Hopefully it's been worth your while. I think we moved over here about the 2-hour mark on the video, and now I'm seeing 2 hours 40 something minutes. So 5 skipjack and 1 largemouth and 40 something minutes of trolling. Not very good numbers, but we're getting them. That's the most important thing. And Donna's Diner's open till 2, so got plenty of time. I don't even know what time it is now. Probably about 10 o'clock, I'd say. I got out here a little before 7 today, so probably around 10ish. Time I finish catching these skipjack, get loaded up, get across town, Donald's will be serving lunch. It'll work out. Things are just working out today, y'all. Y'all need to hit up Donna's. If you're ever in town, need to hit it up. Best food in this town. It's a little hole in the wall place. You don't try taking your boat trailer over there. You're gonna have a hard time parking. It's usually hard for me to get in there with the kayak trailer. They're always packed. Worth eating that though. I'll be curious to see if anybody comments on this video about fasting. And because there's probably, as many people as watch this crap, there's somebody out there that's tried fasting. I'm gonna be curious to see some real world people, not these other YouTubers and I don't trust any influencers. They ain't got no influence on me. But I'll be curious to hear some real world people talk about it. I just don't think I want to do it anymore. I'd just rather die sooner with a full belly. They skipjack apparently don't want to die with a full belly because they ain't wanting to eat. I ain't even seeing none jumping up through here now. If them jet skis are gone, we may go a little bit further up this time, go past the boat ramp. There's a weed line that comes out up here. Alright y'all, I got me another battery in. I got another skipjack on. Just in time. I was mid-sentence when that battery died and beeped at me. Actually, we may have 2 on here possibly. Yeah, we do. We got another twofer on here. There we go. All right. We getting there, y'all, by gosh. We getting there, man. That'll give us 7 now. He just unhooked himself. Let's see if this one will unhook himself. Come on, fishy. Camera's rolling, fishy. These people are tired of waiting on you now. Any that stuck around. I was trying to say there's a weed line up here, out here in front of this parking lot, and we might just troll on past it, but then we got hooked up with these right after I got the dang battery in, so may go on up it. Anyway, there's definitely some fish in here right in this area where we're at. They're just one here, two there. When we go through the school, they're eating, but we just got to get our baits in front of that small school. Yeah, we're gonna, them jet skis are gone now. We're just gonna, I know I said I was gonna cut this video off after the battery died, but we're just gonna keep going. We're gonna run up here in front of this weed line maybe. I'm gonna reel this one in and check it, make sure it ain't got weeds all over it. No, that one still looks good. I'll show you these rigs again here, y'all. So again, I've got 2 trout magnets on. Just got a little dropper rig, a little sabiki knot. Got them spaced I don't know, a foot apart or so. What you trying to do with these rigs here, you're imitating threadfin shad that have gotten separated from the school. These skipjack will swim into a school of shad and try to bust them up. And any of them shad that get separated from the school, they are an easy meal for them skipjack. The old saying, safety in numbers. It's hard for them skipjack to pick off individual fish when they're all swimming together in a school. It's hard to isolate them. But when they're just 1 or 2 fish off away from the school, they're easy pickings. We're gonna go up here over these weeds, around these weeds, just see if anything's happening right up here, and then we're gonna turn around and go back the other way. We seem to be getting them skipjack kind of in that one area there. I ain't seeing nothing busting up through here. They've all kind of been busting right there where we're getting them, but just not very many of them busting. We'll just try right through here for a minute. Again, if any of y'all stuck with me this long, thanks. This is real world fishing now. Like I said when I started this video, the goal of these type videos, just unedited, is to make you feel like you were here with me. And this is exactly, if you were fishing with me today, that's what we'd be doing. You know, from the ultralight fishing first thing to trying to scrounge up some bait right now. I mean, it's as real as it gets, y'all. This is what we'd be doing. So it don't get more real than this. Now, whether or not it's entertaining enough for y'all to stick through watching in a few hours, well, that's another story. But I do hope, if you have stuck with me and been watching for this amount of time, I do hope I've made it feel like you were out here with me. So I get a lot of messages from people in the comment box and stuff of people who maybe can't go fishing just from, you know, illness or injury or, you know, bad weather or whatever, you know. And so the messages I get from those people have been really positive, and I hope it's as close as to you being here as what it would actually be if you were here. That's what I hope anyway from these videos. I get a lot of truck drivers and stuff too, you know, people on road trips that say they listen to these videos, not so much watch them, but they listen to them like a podcast type thing. And that's always the most surprising thing to me, because it's like, I don't view myself as being that interesting. Like this fish I'm about to reel in, he's real interesting. But if you can listen to me like a podcast, well, I'm glad you do. It probably is better that you listen to me than look at me. I lost that fish, by the way, in case you were wondering. Because I definitely ain't much to look at. Them girls gonna have a little something more to look at when I get them all some reading glasses, though. I'm gonna be 25% bigger to look at. That's probably the best idea I ever had. Skipjack there, he heard that skipjack that go in the cooler don't get to come back out. He's claustrophobic, I guess, so he couldn't handle being in that cooler. What we got 7 skipjack now, a few bluegill. I think we're in good shape. If I could get me 12, I'd definitely be good for a couple days of catfishing. Like I said, worst case scenario, I burn through all my bait tomorrow. Maybe I have a great day of catfishing, and then the following day I just go carp fishing instead. That's okay. The weather's gonna knock me out after that, so I'm fine with that. I went carp fishing the other day, caught some big ones, man. I got 2 big ones, a few other smalls. It was an area I hadn't baited or anything. Last year I played around with baiting, going out and trying to, like a day or 2 in advance, putting some cattle cubes and stuff in the water, trying to draw them in, and then going back fishing. And it works well. It works really good doing that. But it's just such a pain. I just don't have time to go out and bait some of these, especially places that are, maybe I got to make a 20-30 minute run to get to. It's tough for me to go out and do that. So I like to just show up, throw baits in, and wait them out. So that's what I did on my last carp trip. I hadn't baited. I just went out there, and it took a couple hours to really get them going and get them feeding. But I had some fish move through, and once they started biting, they were on, man. Like this skipjack right here. Let's see if we can keep this one on. They some here. I ain't seeing them busting, but they obviously still here. This one ain't even jumping. I wonder if this ain't a white bass. It is. There's a white bass right there. All right. Well, I guess there's a few white bass here in this area too then. Let's throw him in the cooler. I'll gladly take him. Fix our trout magnet and get back on the move before my other jigs there hit bottom. Alright. We're getting them, y'all. We're getting them. It's a grind, man. It's not endless action. But probably good that some people, I mean, if people are sitting through it, I think sometimes when you do a normal edited video, in fact I know this is the case, you do a normal edited video and you've edited out all of this, the time between fish. So when a person watches a 30-minute video, here's another one. If a person watches a 20-30 minute video that's been edited down, maybe you go fishing for 4 or 5 hours and you shrink it down to a 20-30 minute video, it looks like you've caught fish non-stop the whole time you've been out on the water. But in reality, you've oftentimes had a day like I've had. Here's 2. Oh, I lost that one right there, man, as I was lifting him in. But like you've seen with me here, where we've kind of had to grind a little bit for these skipjack, getting them sporadically. If I was just editing this video and putting it up on YouTube, and you saw me catch 7 or 8 skipjack, it would look as if I have just been wearing them out, You wouldn't see all the space in between. You wouldn't see how many passes up and down through here I'm making, that I'm getting 1 or 2 on every pass. I can't get that. You wouldn't see me having trouble getting the jig out because I'd edit this out, There we go. Lordy days. That fish was hooked good, man. So I think from that aspect, you know, I think maybe it's a good thing to do some videos like this, to just give people a sense of how it really is. Because there's some YouTubers, you know, just all about the ego and stuff. They want that notoriety to make you believe that they're better than everybody else. You know, they're God's gift to fishing. They'll let you believe. They'll gladly let you believe that they catch fish just continuously, even though they're not. But in reality, everybody gets skunked. Everybody has bad days. Everybody has days like we're having here, where we're just having to, you know, to cover water and grind and stuff. And hopefully some people out there appreciate that. But it would legitimately look like, if I took today's trip, I just wanted to reel that in, make sure I didn't have weeds. If I took today's trip, that's, I don't know where we're at now, around 3 hours total of fishing time. If I took this and edited it down to a 20-minute video, let's say, it would look like I caught nothing but big bluegill to start, because I would have edited out the small ones. And it would have looked like I've just been catching skipjack just non-stop up and down through here. And then the video would end. And you'd have 20 minutes of non-stop action, but kind of just maybe an unrealistic perception of how the day actually went, you know. That's just not, some days it's like that. Sometimes you go out, and like some of my skipjack trips here recently, where there's just been water erupting everywhere with fish, and you know, you go fill a cooler in 20-30 minutes. It is like that some days, but those days are more the exception than the rule. So anyway, that's my thoughts on that, for those of you that give a crap. Some of them damn YouTubers though, man, they'll have you believe they've never got skunked. They'll have you believe they always catching big fish. I'm not going to post a skunk video now. I'm not going to do that, unless it happens when I'm doing a live stream. Obviously I got no control over that, but you know, I don't want somebody, if it's the first video they've ever watched of me, I don't want it to be a skunk video, because then why would they ever come back? You got to have a little bit of credibility on YouTube, you know. But I fish enough, and I'm competent enough that I can go out and catch enough fish to put out somewhere between 100 and 150 videos a year. So I don't really have to do that, but at the same time too, I don't give a damn about really the ego side of things. I don't care if people think I'm better than somebody else. You know, somebody thinking that I'm better than another fisherman or another YouTuber, I mean, it don't change how much fun I'm having on the water. So what do I give a damn, you know? As far as I'm concerned, the less attention I get out in I mean, I need attention obviously for YouTube clicks, helps pay the bills to get more clicks, but just for regular social media crap, for real life stuff, I'd rather get less attention. That's just me. The more attention you get, the more interaction you got to do with people. Not that I don't like yins, but there's some weirdos out there, man. I'm trying to limit it as much as possible. Most everybody I've met in person have been, you know, really, really good people. But still, I can't imagine what it's like to be like a big time athlete, or, you know, a movie star or something, where you just can't do anything. Like, you can't go to a restaurant and have a meal without somebody. There was one jumped right in front of us. You can't have a meal without people pestering you for pictures and autographs, or go to the grocery store, you know. People think it'd be great to be all rich and famous and stuff, but I think it would kind of be like you'd almost be a prisoner in your own life in some sense, just from what you can't really do, you know. Come on, Skippy, get up here. I'm gonna get back on the move. The wind's blowing me backwards. I'm gonna be dragging bottom with my other bait. Come on, Skippy. I swear, y'all, I think these fish are getting more active the later it goes on here. I think maybe they're just getting a late start today, because we're definitely, it seems like we're getting them a little bit more frequently now. Maybe I'm imagining that. I don't know. If that statistician guy, if he watches this video and counts up all the fish, he might could tell us if we kind of started getting a more active bite here toward the end. But either way, that's another one for the cooler. It's what it takes, though. You want to be a successful fisherman. I think the most successful fishermen are the people who are willing to grind. I mean, anybody can be a fishing hero on days where you're catching fish one after another. Those rare days where fish are just hitting everything. Anybody can look like they know what the hell they're doing, but it's what sets the average fisherman apart from the people who are able to go out and just consistently get a bite. It's that willingness to grind and just keep going when things aren't going how you would ideally like them to. That's what sets them apart. One of these days I'm gonna hopefully be one of them people. We got another ski boat coming here. It's about time for me to get off the water, y'all. Thankfully them jet skis went on. Hopefully this guy will too. That's one of them wakeboard things. Them's the worst. Hopefully they won't do that crap here where we're at. I'd like going up past the dock here, but I'm gonna go ahead and turn since he'll be putting in here in a second. I need to get me a drink of water here, y'all. I'm gonna get the cotton mouth talking to you all, not hydrating out here. We'll make 2 or 3 more passes up and down through here, and then I'm gonna probably wrap it up, even if I ain't got many more skipjack. It's getting hot, y'all. It's just one of them steam bath kind of days. That wind has helped make it a little bit more manageable out here this morning. As it's picking up, it's helping keep me cool a little bit. Cooler. Less hot is the word I'm looking for. I complain about how hot it is now, but I tell you what, about 3 months from now, 4 months from now, when it's freezing cold, I'm gonna miss these hot summer days. I can deal with the heat a whole lot better than I can deal with the cold. I just think I ain't made for cold weather. I'm gonna try to go back to Florida this winter for at least a week or so, catch me some sharks. Had a good time doing that last year down there in the Keys. I don't know if I'll be able to go back to the Florida Keys or not. It's expensive to stay down there. I'm gonna go somewhere down there in Florida. Them sharks are a good time. I don't know why more people don't target them. It's just like catfishing, except they fight harder and get bigger. Using basically the same setups. I mean, just cut bait on a hook. Obviously got to use bigger leaders, steel leaders, you know, or wire leaders for the sharks, keep them from biting through the line. But otherwise, it's same setups, really. Boy, it's fun, though. Last year, I hooked that hammerhead. I mean, it was a small bait I was using, too. I think I had a live pinfish and a cut pinfish on the same hook. And both them pinfish were like the small bluegill we've got out here this morning. I mean, pinfish are literally the bluegill of the sea. I mean, it was just tiny baits, and got that hammerhead that was, you know, I don't know how big he was. Probably 8 to 10 foot range, you know, on a tiny bait, just pulling it under a balloon behind the kayak, just at random out there behind the place we were staying. Just amazing. If I pulled a little 3-4 inch bluegill under a balloon here, I'm gonna catch channel cats or turtles or maybe a bass, you know. Definitely ain't catching something 8 to 10 foot long that's going to tow you out to sea for a couple hours. You know, just a different world down there. And all of them people hate them sharks too. That's what's the most amazing to me. It's like you got such a powerful creature that's so easy to catch and so prevalent, yet everybody hates them. Makes no sense to me. It's kind of like carp here. Not that carp or anything like sharks are getting anywhere near as big, but you know what I'm saying. It's like we got these carp that are prevalent everywhere out here. They get big. They're an amazing fight, and nobody appreciates them. They're quote unquote trash fish, you know. I don't understand it. That's how I thought of carp for the longest time, you know. It was just culturally, that's how we're brought up. That's what we're always told. But I've changed my tune on it. I like catching them carp. What I like most about the carp is that I can catch them in places where I don't see the wakeboarders and the jet skiers and all that. Can't avoid them when I'm catfishing. Let's make a turn, y'all. I didn't see any skipjack busting. Oh, here's somebody gonna come over here and fish on the bank, I guess now. I didn't see none busting down through here on that pass. I was just talking there how the bite was picking up. Things were going to get better. And then we come all the way down through here and didn't get a bite. Oh, what's going on up there? They just dropped somebody off. I don't know what just happened there. That might make a, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna loop out here. Let me just go out in a little bit deeper water here. There was something right there, I think. Let's just go out here and make another pass right out here in the middle and see what's going on out here. Wind's picking up. Hopefully that ain't bad on the video. I got the wind muff things on, but still. I'm glad I got out here when I did today though, because that wind, I definitely couldn't be ultralight fishing as easily right now with this amount of wind as what we had first thing this morning. That wind, I tell you, when it blows the bow in the line, when you're waiting on that, feel that bite as your jig falls, you just can't. You can't feel it on a line with a bow in it. Yeah, I'm gonna go out here in the middle. We'll loop back around one more time, go by the shoreline over there if we don't get bit out here. And then after that, I'll probably wrap it up for real. Even if I ain't got any more skipjack, I'll probably go ahead and wrap it up. It's getting hot, y'all. It's getting hot. It's you can watch this video and I can make it hopefully make you feel like you're out here, but unless you're just sitting in a sauna right now watching this video in a sweat box, you can't really fully experience what it's like out here right now, because it's a damn sweat box right now. I'm honestly surprised this camera is still going without overheating. This is the biggest accomplishment of the day, is keeping this camera rolling in this sun. Must just be just hazy enough to keep it going right now. Yeah, I'm gonna loop around just one more time and hopefully get one or two more maybe, and then we're gonna go with it. I'm gonna fish tomorrow. If I got enough left over for another catfish trip, I'll do it. If not, I'll go carp fishing. We definitely got enough for tomorrow though. I've lost count how many skipjack we got now. 8 or 9, I guess. Different day. Every day's different. I mean, they were just here just the other day. I mean, hundreds of them busting out here. It's amazing the difference. Took me 20-30 minutes. Had a whole cooler full. You just couldn't keep them off your lines. Today, one here, one there, and you've seen it. But I guarantee you this though, I promise you this, I've caught more of these skipjack out here trolling than what I would have if we'd been casting. Like if we'd been trying to chase down them little tiny schools that we're seeing, throw a cast to them, we might have caught some, but we wouldn't have got what we've got right now, that's for sure. Because they're just very sporadic. I think they're just chasing bait out here. The ones that are active, the ones that aren't are probably deeper. The bigger school that I've been getting down here, they could be upriver, you know. Skipjack always on the move. You know, they kind of hang out in an area for a little while, then they'll move. You might find them a mile or two away. They'll be there for a little while. Then they move on some more. They just following that bait, you know. The guy at wakeboarders left his truck parked there in the water. Well, he's way over there. I can't stand people do that. Bunch of lazy asses. It's like, go park your damn car. If you're just going to back in and work on your motor or something, that's one thing. But when you're taking it off the trailer, he's headed upriver. That guy's headed upriver, got his truck parked there. And people like that piss me off. Inconsiderate. Alright, we're going to loop around here. We're going to go down to the dam one more time, and then we're going to Donna's, y'all. Oh, Donna, if she gets any extra business, they better give me a discount next time I'm in there, by gosh. I've had Donna's Diner on the brain today. They've gotten a lot of advertisement in this video. It's good, I'll tell you that though. I ain't seeing nothing now though, y'all. I mean, nothing. I ain't seeing nothing jumping, nothing busting anywhere. I thought it was getting ready to turn on. Hell, I commented. I was like, you know, maybe it's just a later bite. And then after that, as soon as I said that, shut off. Weird. That's all right, so we got them. Got enough anyway. We don't need a surplus, we just need enough. No need to be greedy. The old saying, pigs get fed, hogs get slaughtered. I can't remember how fat you got to be a hog. There's a certain weight that a pig turns into a hog. I can't remember what it is. 250 pounds maybe? I may just be making that up, but 250 is in my mind for some reason. We definitely ain't got no 250 pounds of skipjack today. That is for sure. But we got enough. Get through the next couple days, then we'll have a washout here, some weather moving through, and then head over to North Carolina, see what I can do on Kerr Lake. Never been there before, looking forward to it. If I ain't mistaken, I think the world record catfish, blue cat anyway, was caught over there. Oh, we might get us one more here, y'all. Maybe two. This is a twofer right here if we can keep them both hooked. Oh no, I think we just lost them both. Dadgummit. We did. Alright. Anyway, I'm excited to go over there to Kerr Lake and check it out. Distance wise, I think it's about 8 hours. I think it's going to be about 8 total hour drive from me. So the lake, it's half of it's in North Carolina and half of it's in Virginia. Our check-in for the tournament is in the North Carolina side, so that's probably where I'm going to focus my time, just because on tournament day I'm going to have to be back in at check-in there. So I'm going to try to find a place within a reasonable drive of it, that way I can spend the most amount of time possible with lines in the water. I want the full tournament day with lines in. I don't want to have to leave early to make it back to check-in. Alright, well, we back down here to the dam. I think I'm gonna turn around, y'all, and boy, I'm dark on that screen. That's the best I've looked right there, ain't when my face is blocked out by the sun. But I'm gonna turn around here, head back toward the ramp here, and probably call it quits on today. Got enough, you know, didn't get a lot of skipjack, but got enough. And definitely enough for tomorrow, hopefully enough for 2 days, but hopefully, most important thing, y'all, we had fun out here. I had fun, caught some fish, had a good time. Hopefully y'all had a good time. Hopefully y'all can stand to watch this trolling. We'll see. I'm gonna look at the analytics. I'm gonna see how many people are watching in this final hour or so, and see if we need to do this crap anymore in the future. I'll let y'all tell me. Y'all drive the bus on here as far as what kind of content I post. It'll make a bit of difference to me. I'll gladly cut this thing off, you know, when we're done ultralight fishing, and do this trolling on my own, you know. Don't matter to me. But if y'all want to watch it, I can certainly film it, and if you don't, that's okay too. It ain't gonna hurt my feelings if you don't. I know that some people don't like it, and you know, to each their own. But anyway, I'm headed back toward the car, so I guess we'll wrap this video up for real this time. Shout out for GoPro. This fish don't want me shouting out GoPro. I gotta reel another one in here, y'all. No, I don't. See, it doesn't come off. I was gonna try to compliment GoPro though for not overheating today. It's a miracle in itself. That damn boat, man, I'm telling you, he parked his truck there in the water. Now he's all the way, he's a mile upriver up there. If you do that, you're a jerk. Don't be a jerk, people. You kids out there watching, don't do that crap. I know ain't nobody out here right now, but you never know when 2 or 3 boats are gonna pull up at once trying to use that ramp, and half of it's blocked because some prick was too damn lazy to go park his truck. I can't, people, I done talked too much about people I don't like today, from the Teleco Village lady, the Airbnb host that wanted to make you clean the house. I ain't gonna gripe no more, so I ain't gonna go on a big rant on it. But anyway, what I am gonna do is get the heck out of here, y'all. So hopefully y'all enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. If you stuck with me this long, special thanks to y'all. I'll see you again soon.